So, hello everyone, welcome to today's stream. Welcome. And we are here with Quas. Say hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Right, so Quas is also streaming. So if you want to see his side of the whole stream, go ahead, and I'll give him a shout out here.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box
There
Twitch
he is.
channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers
Before we go on,
please make
Quas,
your
really
way
quickly,
to the first class cabin, where
can you check your
complimentary
controllers?
drinks,
Because
snacks,
I've
and
got
premium flight entertainment will be
Oh.
served.
it's kind of weird
Thank you.
vibration in the rudder pedals. There we go.
Good to see you back in the chally.
It's because nothing's been... Oh, it's decided to uncalibrate everything. That'll be why.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, sorry, just give me a sec.
Yeah, good. So, hello, Danny. Hello, Andreas. Hello, Holger. Captain Mitchell. Hello. Mark, nice to see you. Also, hello to Yoda. Nice to see you guys. Giftswerk, Luke, Valentino. And we have the first resub, Luke, coming in. Luke, 1549. Thank you so much for the 34 months here. Good to see you back in a chalet. Indeed. I am excited. Oops, that's a fuel truck. So yeah, this is the beauty. We're flying today, and once again in shared flight with our good friend Quas. Quas, if you don't know him yet, he's a real-world ATC controller, or air traffic controller, I should just simply say. So if you have any questions ATC related, Quas is always very happy to answer all the questions in that regard. So we have already done a shared flight together. Well, it had kind of an embarrassing ending for me because I don't know how it happened, but we landed, or actually I landed on the wrong runway because Quas unfortunately had a crashed desktop on his side, and he was pilot flying, and I had to take over. And we were on pilot edge, and I did not kind of, realize quickly enough that we could just simply paused and reconnected again, and then Quas could have taken over again and land the aircraft. I didn't even think that far ahead. So, but anyways, today we're going to make everything a lot better. I still see the yoke is still weirdly deflected. Ah, there we go. Right, so I'll do the same. Good.
Is that fixed now?
Yeah, that's fixed. Let me do... Okay, so I'm doing the gear anyways today. Gear flaps, right? So
Yeah, right.
that's all good. Good, so the fueler is here. Can you set kilograms, please, on the display?
Oh, yes, I forgot to do that. Sorry, my mistake.
Because otherwise I'm completely lost. Right, guys, as always, a quick feedback. How's the sounds? Hey, Brennell.
Meters, kilograms.
Where is Quas controlling? If I remember correctly, Quas, you're a London controller, correct?
London, yeah, AFM.
There we go.
Although they might be changing in the summer, but we'll see.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Sounds good. Thank you for the feedback. Danny says sounds good. Luke says sounds good. Alrighty. There we go. So everyone's happy. Rhinoceros, hello to you. Victor, hello. Monway. Sound alerts do not work. Let me see what's going on there. Oh, you're right. I can't hear the sounds. Let me see. Let me see what's going on there. Streamlabs. It should be on. Right, let's try that. Nope. Hang on. We'll fix that. Don't worry. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. Hey, Dimitri. Hello. Yeah, so I can see kilograms now. Yeah, fantastic. It's just paused. That's all.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot to bind a couple of things.
Okay, no worries.
So
No worries. Yeah, take your time. All good. I've got a sound here. Fix some sounds anyways. Don't know why the panel voice meter input. That's good.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch
So
channel
that needs to
subscriber
be-
experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Thank you so much to
Big
Stepke.
thanks for the great entertainment.
Stepke, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much for your 19 months here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting. Right, so I am just gonna have a look, make sure that I have everything set. Voice meter input. So let's try that again. Right, I'm gonna restart the Nightbot then. So yeah, I don't know why the sounds are not working on the chatbot. Good, so yeah, I can see kilograms is there. How many liters is going to put in? I think around about, so we did about a ton more, don't we? So let's put in 1,000, or let's say 1,100 liters.
All right, I'm gonna go start up the pump.
Okay, so I have already...
Okay, alright. Well, that's everything set up and sorted then.
Okay.
Why are my rudders being awkward? There we go. Oh! Did I forget to do my nav database? No! Oh, I did!
Alright, well, alright, quick pause then, and then...
Yeah, let me update that. Hold on. Oh, I don't suppose I can leave it running, can I?
No, I think you need to, yeah, flight configure. I'll go back out again, that's no problem.
Yeah, okay. Alright, stand by, I'll reset.
No worries. Right, I mean, I've got some sound issues to fix anyways.
Oh, wonderful, okay. Alright, at least it's not just me.
Yeah, so... There we go. Default. Let's see. Question, Dimitri. Just got questioned. Why do we need to insert file approach course for ILS in A320? Why? Hang on. Why? No, you don't. No, you don't. I never put in the file approach course. All we do is sometimes we put the extended center line. Maybe you mean that, but normally for the ILS course, you don't need to insert that. That is normally automatically... it's Danzi in Discord. Yeah, I can have a look. No worries. Okay, so Danzi, yeah, sure. I would be up for the question is when, because I'm going to be away from Sunday to Sunday. But otherwise, I would be up for a group flight. Yeah, so guys, we're maybe, I'm not sure if all of you heard, but Matt Davis sadly passed away yesterday. So very unexpectedly. I mean, it has become a bit quiet around him lately, and that was apparently because he was ill. And he suddenly passed away yesterday. And so, yeah, Danzi wants to organize a group flight in Matt's memory, which is a nice idea, I think. So, yeah, so Danzi, or Dan, yeah, just give me a shout when you want to do that, and then we'll discuss that. Hey Lee, good Abend. So just trying to fix my audio issue with
Yeah, I'm just loading back in now, so I'll be less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
No worries. Just let me know when you finished, and then I'll join you.
Yep.
So I don't know why I don't have the sounds running.
What sounds are you missing?
Well, from Nightbot. So I've got not Nightbot,
Oh.
Chatbot. So I've got a app running, and people can put in a command, sound command,
Mm-hmm.
and it plays a sound jingle. But for some reason today, it's not cooperating.
Interesting. Okay.
Normally, it's just a audio setting internally in
Yeah.
the voice meter, but that seems to be something else then. Hey, P-Bask.
Okay.
How you doing? All right, guys. Yeah.
Am I going to need to go and speak to Jenny again? There we go. Look.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. That's not the end of the world.
No.
The aircraft's back up anyway, so you can rejoin whenever you like.
Roger. So I'll do that. Doing well. Thanks for asking. Thank you much.
Let's see if I go. Yeah.
So let me just hide the IP address so nobody can see that.
That's about, let's say, 35. That's probably closer to the truth. Oh. There we go.
Flying with Quaz, yeah. So Quaz it is. Oh, it's already connected us? Okay, fantastic. So here we go. And you're already outside, I guess. I just heard a door. So it's outside.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that was me leaving.
There it is. All right, so while you're inside, you check the database, please, and then I'll do the outside here. Oh, there he is. So that looks good. There's no damages here. Let's take it.
Hey, we've got a secondary nav database.
Excellent. So we've got 3 pins in here. Oh, and the last time, it was quite interesting to see. You can actually open that up. Love that. That looks all good. Let's lock that again. Is hydraulic on already, or?
Not yet, stop.
Okay. No, all right. I'll just continue outside.
There you go,
Check
hydraulics on.
Okay, cool. I'll close the nose door. So let's wait for the fueler. And check the rest of the outside here. Beautiful, posh, clean aircraft, I have to say. Very nice. And we are beautiful Nice today. Current weather, let's have a look. Current weather is 15 degrees. Leaving it, yeah. Alrighty, I would say everything's fine outside. So passengers are not here yet. Just check the cabin. Make sure everything's cleaned up. Toilet, washroom, new towels. Oh, I don't want to do that. Don't want to sit on the toilet there. Alright, toilet is fine as well. Yeah, the livery, well, we had to take a livery that both of us have, so that we don't get any issues. So let's see, temperature. Let's make it a little bit warmer. Danny, it is a fantastic detailed aircraft, absolutely. Oh, it's just starting to rain. Yuck. That reminds me, I just need to see if I can find... Fueler hasn't called, has he?
He should be on the way.
Okay. But I mean, he hasn't arrived yet.
No, he's... Oh, goodness me, he's still like 5 minutes away.
Oh, no worries, no worries. That gives me time to find my checklist.
Yeah, interestingly, I was just looking, and there's no checklist in the aircraft for some reason.
Well, that's because we are... Oh, you mean like to call up?
Yeah, the electronic checklists aren't there. So I don't know where they've gone.
Okay.
But we might need to go off the paper checklist for this.
All right, well, no problem. I'll find it. It should be in the documents folder, right?
In theory, yeah.
Okay, we'll check. So let's go and... yeah. Yeah, I think something's messed up there with the latest update.
I don't know if they just weren't packaged or what. It's not the end of the world.
No. I can give Toto a shout. Get him to panic. Right. So we go to aircraft Challenger 650 documentation and then checklists. Fantastic. There you go. Okay, so I'll just go through the flows then.
Yep, okay.
Fantastic. So you already have put that on. That is on. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Is that Belgium? Oh, for the registration. Okay.
Oscar, I think
Yeah.
it's Belgian, yeah.
Okay.
I just picked a reg, to be honest.
Yeah. I think I can hear the fuel truck. Our Pilsen says it looks like a demo checklist XML that Grim made for someone who wanted to customize it. Okay, well, Pilsen, we just downloaded the latest beta version. Maybe you can forward that to Toto. Or is there a way that we can exchange it now without restarting the sim?
For what, sorry?
No, I'm just talking to Pilsner. He just wrote on the chat. He said, looks like a demo checklist XML that Grammy made for someone who wanted to customize it. So 3A is on. Brake pressure. So I'm just going to change my viewpoints here so I don't interfere with you viewpoints.
I don't know, we've got 2.9 of fuel already. We probably don't need a refuel.
Okay, well then that's weird because that way, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so nothing required then.
Wonderful. I'll tell him to start off as soon as he gets here.
Yeah, perfect. Then I can actually close that panel. Oh, that is closed. Okay. Good, good. So let's continue on here. So landing altitude according to flight plan is about 2,000 feet almost. And the Barrow, that's a bit lower. 999. Just checking the setting later on. It would be 2950. So 2950. 999 exactly. Oh, there's the fuel track. So here we got 1005. Yeah, so the weather seems to be syncing up fine. So 1005, pretty much sea level. That's good.
1005, yeah, beautiful.
Just gonna check the emergency lights. Good. We close the nose door and go. Hydraulics all on. Doors on. So just checking the fuel panel here.
All right, Captain, fuel truck is hooked up. Just let me know how much fuel you need. Or would you like to go tanks full today? Have a nice day.
Quas could ask someone on the Discord for a copy, and the power cycle of the PL21 should reload it from disk.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, I might be able to pull a copy out of off my XP11 install. So let me try that. Give me a sec.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Pilsner. We'll try that. So, actually, let's do this here. I just get this armed. That's fine. Actually, let's just check the.
Let's take.
APU bottle test, good. Starting APU.
Okay, that should be in. I'm just going to downpower, repower the Prolines.
Yep.
I'm wondering what the most efficient way to do that is. I might just cycle the external power that will fix it.
I have no idea what it means by power cycle of the PL21.
Yeah, the PL21 is the Proline 21. That's the actual box itself.
Okay.
But I can't think of an easy way to cycle all three of them simultaneously besides just downpowering and repowering the aircraft.
So is there circuit breakers for that, or?
Oh, maybe. Let's have a look, shall we? Found everything except the Prolines at the moment. There we go. Right, found one. So
Oh,
yours should die now.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go find mine. Oh, there's an FMS data load breaker. Let's try that.
So let's see if we have any centers available here. Yeah, so what we're trying to do, guys, so in case you haven't quite followed that yet, so normally you have a checklist, an interactive checklist, you know, on the display here. But it's a latest demo version, a beta version, and for some reason the checklist disappeared, and we're just trying to reload it.
On the off chance that it's just yours that needs resetting, I've pushed your breaker back in, so maybe give it another go.
So it's on my side out.
Your side I've pulled out and now back in, and I've just recycled my side as well.
Do you have, where is it? Which panel?
Yours is on the H row, back bottom right hand side. It's called like I can't remember what it's called now. FMS CDU2, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So so I've covered FMS CDU1. You've got FMS CDU2,
Yeah.
and then there is somewhere an FMS CDU3, presumably.
Okay. I would expect it on my side, but
I would have as well. I don't know if I'm being blind. It's very possible.
need to kill the displays. Pills,
Oh, you need to kill the displays.
Okay, so he said faster would be to go to a black cockpit.
Okay, I'm just going to do that then.
Right, let me just power down the APU then.
Just a quick little down power repower.
so AJ says faster to go black cockpit. And AJ, guys, so ask Victory, AJ, if you're not aware, he's a real world Challenger pilot. So I had the honor to do a shared flight with him as well. And he's also got a YouTube channel. Make sure to check it out.
Pull up.
So powering up again. I'm going to reset my CB as well. So, no, unfortunately, there's nothing changed there.
No change, really?
I mean, on my side, I don't see anything, unless it takes some time, but...
Okay, yeah, maybe try... I don't know what to do in that case then. Because, yeah, I've loaded in... I've added the correct checklist file.
I mean, I can go select something else again. Go back. Checklist. No. Yeah, it doesn't let me go to the next checklist. All right, we'll do a paper checklist then. That is fine.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Sorry, I thought that might fix it. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that needs a full plane reload. No, so we'll just we'll assume it just have an issue today with that
It's an help. It's alright, it's one less thing for you to worry about.
That is true. Alrighty, so what else do we need to do? Oh yeah, frequencies. I was going to check if we have some control here. Although, I mean, we have done that. Well, that's fine. No, that's fine. Disregard. So, Nice. Nice. No, Nice has... upcoming events, but nothing here right now. Okay. So we'll go 1 to 2.8. So come on. So that's fine. Nice, so Innsbruck approach and tower logged on. Fantastic feedback. Thanks for the info.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Sorry, I should have said test.
Oh, that's okay, don't worry.
Smoke test. Lap test. F16 pilot, hey. Yeah, sorry.
You know, it's okay. The box is all up to date. We're just waiting on the takeoff numbers, but that's fine.
Okay, I'll check in a second. IRS is still aligning. Transponder standby is okay. That's all good. I think we did that after start anyways, so that's good. Vibration check. That's good. Oh, it says DC2 APR fail, DC1 APR fail.
Where are you seeing that?
On the ECAM or ACAS.
Oh yeah, look at that. DC1 APR fail. Should that might just be a case of recycling the APR maybe?
Okay, let me try it. I'm going to start the APU again anyways.
Okay.
Sound check.
Was that you? No.
That wasn't me, that was somebody on Unicom. Just make sure I haven't missed a breaker anywhere. I don't believe I have.
I just need to set my push to talk here. Joystick. Edit X pilot. Push to talk. Last station, that was loud and clear. Did you hear me on the frequency?
Yeah, I heard you then.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay, that works. Okay, so it says do another APR test with the engine started and it will clear. Fantastic. Thank you much, AJ.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Okay.
Okay, so I don't need to do an APR test before engine start.
Oh, of course, APR won't work if we've not got the engines running, so an APR test isn't going to do much, is it?
Oh, very good. Good. CVC, we don't need to log on. The INS index. position. That's fine. So let's have a look at the IRS enabled, but I wanted to have I am using a checklist. I'm going to try and go through it as good as I can. I thought I saw APR on there, but maybe not.
What are you looking for?
Currently looking for the position in it. Oh, aligning. That's what we're looking for. So nav is about 1 minute away. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Cool. So I was looking for the test here. Calibration. All that. Low dampers engage. There's a one out. IRS aligned. Okay, check the minute. TCAS test. Let's assume that's tested. Transponder 2000 later on. So, and then from there it would be ATC clearance, FMS flight plan, wind update. Did you do a wind update as well?
Wind update's been done.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to go through the routing real quickly.
Cool.
So
Yeah, no worries.
VATSIM, then so we're taking off 4 right.
We
okay.
shouldn't be because the wind's like 22017.
Blimey, okay, yeah, so 22 left then.
I had 22 right in just because it's.
Okay, that's fine.
But I am open to suggestions on that. I just threw something in for now.
Yeah, let me just see. Get my mind around. I try to remember if I did take off on 22 at some point in my life, but that is so rare.
It's conventional wisdom, I think, is that they take off on the close runway and land on the far runway, right?
Yeah.
Which would put 22 right as the departure runway. But this is Nice, so God only knows how they actually do it.
Well, normally landing would be 4 left and take off 4
you
right.
5/5.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
so,
so that's
we
why-
want to say 22 left for departure.
So that's
then.
why I'm kind of thinking if they do 22 left as well, and then 22
I mean,
right,
it stands to reason. It's the same departure either way.
Yeah. But then it says 22 right IRL. Okay.
Okay. I don't know. I don't question these things.
Well, and if we have no ATC, well, then we go 22 right. That's
There you go.
fine.
Yeah, do whatever we like.
So we'll take 22 right in this case. So Yankee 15, Abenga 985, target 876, Hector's 76 Breno. And then arrival, I would think currently they have information November, the runway in use. Obviously, well, it doesn't say on the ATIS, but for that wind 270 at 13, it will be 28.
26.
Oh, okay, so Danny. Okay, so Danny has also got a typo in there, so he did mean 22 left. I was just thinking, you know, I
so it's
normally,
22 left. Okay,
yeah,
fine.
normally you cross and then take off 22 left. Well, big
Okay,
confusion
fine.
there. All right, 22 left it is then, and then we go 26 initially with the Breno 3 Alpha, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Brenner 3 Alpha. And I was gonna plan the RNAV Echo or the RNP Echo for 26.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what usually would be done here in
Yeah.
the Challenger.
Let's throw that in. Getting a call for the packs if you're happy for me to bring them on.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Cool.
everything's ready.
Alright,
Cabin's
let's
cleaned. Drinks ready.
Sweet.
So I'm just gonna get the charts ready as well. Departure. So there we go. That's So it's a on of departure. 21, 22, 23, 24. So 246, 248. Luzano, Tifno, Basel. It says initial climb 100. Yeah, so once again, the invitation stands. If you have any questions, and maybe some of got young people here that are thinking about maybe going into air traffic control in real life, or VATSIM controlling, by all means, please ask. Quaz is a real-world controller, also controlling on VATSIM, so he can answer all those questions. Still confused that alignment. Let's look at 1.5, it says.
Hello, Captain. How are you today? That's great to hear.
IRS
Well,
is
we're
taking
all
the time.
set back there, so we can get going anytime.
Okay, then I'll close the doors.
Is that the fax getting on? Yeah, cool,
Yeah.
sweet.
So, hello. Take your seats, fasten seatbelts. We'll be on our way shortly.
That's why you're in the right seat, is because you're better at dealing with the passengers.
Apparently, yeah. So. Right, so let us know if anything's missing or if you're too hot, too cold. Be happy to help you out.
Or your own champagne.
Champagne is in the cooler. So, good. So it should be aligned. There we go. Now it's aligned.
There we go.
I was getting worried.
That's fine. You didn't want to go slant with whiskey now?
No, not really, no. Too much work. Good. So performance. Let's have a look here. So planning a full takeoff power. And we got 2 to left now. That's correct. Right. Actually, you know what? It could be a bit wet. Yeah, it looks wet outside. Do we put that in? Quas, can you hear me?
Yep, so.
Okay, sorry. Shall we do runway condition wet?
It is raining, isn't it? So
Yeah.
that might be prudent.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah, valid point. Yeah, okay.
So I'll put that, and then I'll send again the V-speeds.
I shouldn't have changed it. It's just lowered the V1. Cool, alright.
So speeds are in. 10,000 is checked. Fantastic. Happy with that. So takeoff data is set. Avionics charts are set on my side. Although I can, let's see if I can call up the charts on here. So let's go chart. Ah, look at that. And then, oops. There you go. Hey, nice. So, Love on Air, are you controlling? Yeah, yeah, we shouldn't be that much longer. It's only a 45, 50-minute flight time. We're almost ready to go. Fantastic. Thanks for the service. Looking forward to it.
Are we being hurried up by air traffic?
Yeah, so he just said hello. So he's Love on Air, it's called.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so we can get rid of the ground power anytime you like. AP generators on.
Sweet. Okay, yeah. I'll ask them to wheel it away very nicely.
Yeah, AP bleeders are on as well. Packs are running.
We got hydraulics. Is the parking brake on?
No, you should set that. There we go. Yeah,
No, it is. There we go. I'll get the chocks out as well.
perfect. Ricardo, you get horrible FPS with any Orbix. I've got yeah, Orbix. I'm trying to think if because this is just some knees, and we got although we got Innsbruck Orbix, and I tried it out this afternoon. It was all right. So I'm not sure if that's the general issue.
For what, sorry?
So he's somebody's saying that he's got horrible FPS and XP12. Any Orbix scenery? Or any Orbix problem.
Interesting. I can't. I mean, my FPS isn't great, but I also lock it at 40, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything more than that. But it's not terrible, I don't think.
Good. So departure briefing. I would be ready anytime you'd like to do the briefing. Captain.
Okay. All right, let's go for it then. So, welcome aboard Oscar Whiskey Echo Golf Challenger 650. We're operating from Nice to Innsbruck today. We're parked at the we're parked at the ones between, or sort of over by Hotel 1 on the east side of the field. And we're expecting 22 left for departure. It's going to be start out of here and probably, a left turn to Hotel 1 to cross 22 right to Hotel 3 and then depart 22 left.
Yeah.
It's a nice long runway, but we've talked about the fact that it's wet. So numbers today, we've got 111, 121, 132, 152. That's all fine, well within limits on that case. Once we're airborne, we've cleared ourselves via the VATSIM 7 X-ray departure.
Yeah.
So that is track 223 to Mike November 222 for us. And then left turn Mike November 223, 246, 248. And then Usano, Tivno, and up to VATSIM.
Yeah.
With an initial clearance of flight level 100.
Checked.
Okay, let's talk about all this. So, threats on the departure. The obvious one is the fact that we're uncontrolled. So, keeping an eye out for traffic is going to be sort of a priority. We don't know sort of what's out there. It's very much bandit country.
Yeah.
Lots to take into consideration. The other one is sort of really quite rapidly rising terrain to the north of the field. The MVA that we're departing into is as low as 3.1, which is nice. But if we end up north of the field for whatever reason, it climbs quite quickly to 12.5. It's just something to bear in mind. If we need to come off the SID for whatever reason, it's going to be best to remain over the water and deal with any problems there. On the takeoff roll then, in terms of dealing with issues below 80 knots, let's stop for sort of any yellows, reds, or any indication that the aircraft is unfit to fly. Above 80 knots below V1, we'll stop for a red. And above V1, it doesn't matter what the problem is, we'll take it into the air and deal with it there. The stop-go call can come from either one of us, but ultimately it will be reduced power, maximum manual braking, idle power, maximum manual braking. Vacate if we need, or if we can, otherwise we'll stop, assess the issue, and if an evacuation is necessary, we'll deal with it there. If we get the aircraft into the air and it's urgent, we'll come back to Nice. And in fact, even if it's non-urgent, we'll probably come back to Nice as the most suitable airport for a while around I can think of. So that's probably the best option. Weather's all fine. We talked about the wet runway, but other than that, that's not a threat. I think that's all I've got for you if you've got no questions.
Yeah, I have no questions.
Sweet.
Good, so I can say pins, covers removed, chocks I think it just removed as well, correct?
Yep, chocks are out.
Okay, so cabin lights, water heaters, and MSTRC, I would say they're all set.
Yeah, it's all at the back.
And so hopefully I haven't missed anything major, so flight compartment checklist will be completed. Next will be engine start checklist.
Okay, I am ready for that whenever you are, I think.
Good. So doors are closed. Parking brake and pressure. So parking brake is set on. And yeah, we got about 3,000 psi. Thank you.
Yeah, it's exactly what we want.
And yeah, fuel quantity and balance. So we've got 2,860, 1440 to 1420. So nicely balanced.
Well within limits.
Yeah. The beacon is on. Fuel boost pumps are on. And then next will be ignition arm and engine start, but I will leave that up to you.
Okay, we'll go system B then. And we'll signal to the nice man for runway 2, or for number 2. Which we have, so starting 2.
Yeah, so my side is working.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, someone's just coming into land. Ah, okay, let's concentrate. So 20%.
Thank you, there's fuel.
Yeah, IGT is rising. N1, N2 rising.
I'm going to get a headset on as well.
Yeah. That looks like a good engine start.
I agree. We'll signal start 1. Okay, good indication to start and everything looks clear on my side.
Yeah.
So here we go, starting 1.
On, IGT rising. Hey, Mr. Tomboy, thanks for the raid. Welcome, everyone. In case you're wondering, we are... That's loud. Sorry. In the shared flight with Quaz here in the Challenger 650 from HotStart. Good, so looks like good engine starts 1 and 2.
I agree.
I should have checked the fuel system.
Oh, that's alright. You can check it now if you like. It will return exactly the same results.
Switch. Hey, Yurik. That was just fuel right, fuel boost pump off, correct?
Yeah, it's just just the right pump to make sure that the cross bleed valve works. Also, the shut off valve works.
Good. All right, then we'll go continue with the flows. Gens on, ignitions disarm, packs are on. Yeah, they are. 14th stage. There you go. Open. Cal anti-ice. Do we need anti-ice? No, 15 degrees. Leave it off.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we need anti-ice.
I would be ready for a flight control check.
Okay. Here we go then. We'll go full aft. Neutral full forward. Neutral full left. Neutral full right. And neutral. And then rudder all the way to the left. And neutral all the way to the right. And neutral.
Yep, that looks good. Then flight spoilers are checked, stowed. And Cal anti-ice. Alright, we'll leave that. With the ground anti-ice, let's say that's already checked as well. Fuel balance
I would agree.
Is still checked. 1440, 1400. Trims 3 set for takeoff. So you're happy with 5?
Sorry, a second.
Are you happy with the trim up 5 units, or you want to go 6
Oh, it
units?
should be 6. Sorry, my mistake.
Hey, Toto! Oh, no worries, Toto, don't worry about it. Hey, you know, it's all good practice with the paper checklists, all fine. No worries. I will do a APR check in a minute. So, trim set, no steer armed. Yes, it is. And then we'll do the APR test. Oh, no, that's vibration. That's the APR test. Try that again. Do I need to reset it?
No, yeah. So just press and hold it, and you get test 1 OK. And then if you press, and then if you do test 2. Then that should clear the other caption.
Yeah, that's now it's disappeared. Okay, cool. Fix that. Fantastic. ADG unit test. Now I test that down here for the green light. Make sure it goes off. It's off. And we the wing anti-ice set all normal. Windshield. Supposed to be on. ATS N1 takeoff set. And then we go TCAS TARA. And so that's the after start checklist completed. So taxi checklist will be next.
Cool. Alrighty. Just make sure you've got no questions before we go.
No, it was taxi out left side, you said.
Just because... I suppose we don't need to. I suppose we could go out right. It's going to be quicker and easier. I think there's probably rules here in the real world about which way we're supposed to taxi out, but I'm
whatever you like. So the right side will be clear.
The left side is clear. Wonderful.
Nice traffic. Oscar, Whiskey, Echo, Golf is taxiing. Holding point. Hotel 1 at 2 to right initially in Nice. Shall I give you lights, taxi lights?
Oh, good point. Yeah, please.
No worries.
I'll take the taxi checklist once we're moving here.
Okay. So, passenger signs, advise on, checked. Anti-collision lights. On. Probes. Are supposed to go on. Probes are on. Windshield heat is on. Wing current ice is not off. Continuous ignition is on. We have TCAS TARA. Supplementary ground anti-ice panel is checked. CAS takeoff config OK. Oh, flaps. I need to set your flaps to mine.
Yeah, is that also not on the takeoff config OK? Should be in the before takeoff checklist, no?
Oh, so I missed the PDF file jumped. So taxi lights on. Wing anti-ice, calendar set. Brakes and steering checked. That was your side, so that was checked on your side.
FM.
Then we go thrust.
East traffic,
reverse.
the
1 and 2 check.
taxi 1831, taxiing on front runway 2
Didn't bind that. They caught it checked good, and I'll bind it when I get to the holding point here.
Okay. I think it was PBAS just on the frequency. Hey, Krishu, how you doing? Yurik ATC question: does anyone know why there is no Juliet anymore? Juliet Airways anymore in South France? I don't know the answer to that one. No.
Yeah, France, Brest recently went free airspace. That's probably why.
Okay.
So the same as Scotland's now got no upper airways either.
Okay. There we go. So yeah, so Quast just needs to bind his thruster reverse levers there. So let's do that check. I mean, the electronic checklist is a bit easier because you have to go, bit by bit, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain.
Yeah, it jumps sometimes on the PDF file, and I miss some of these items. Is it easy to manage for ATC this way? I'm not sure. Is it without the Juliet Airways?
I wouldn't say easier. It's just so the big advantage really in terms of they're not armed.
Yeah, hang on. No, they're armed.
The big advantage of free airspace is flexibility and cost saving. Right, so it saves the operators a ton of money. because you can file, more direct routings and all that fun jazz. And it gives us a lot more flexibility in terms of routing people tactically.
Okay.
It's a nice system,
All right, there you go. So Traverse, you check them, correct?
Yes, they found. Okay.
Okay, so they checked. Flaps, I see 20 degrees. Altimeters, I've got 1005 at 0 feet.
I also have 1005 indicating 0 feet.
Radar.
Is non-functional, so we can skip
Okay,
that.
so take a briefing review.
We're going off to left.
Left, we are to go to left. We're going to cross in a second.
Yes.
And that's the taxi check that's completed. If you check left side, I'll do the call that we're crossing.
Yeah, left side looks clear.
East traffic, Oscar, Whiskey, Echo Golf for crossing runway 2 to right in Nice. Taxing, holding point, Hotel 3, 2 to left in Nice. P-Bask is behind us.
Oh, wonderful.
East traffic, the holding point to
He's clearing us, I do.
left and crossing 2 to right. There's going to be Hotel 3.
Yeah, clear right side.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
is there a way to dim down the sounds when you go outside view?
East traffic,
There is, yeah. If you go to Challenger 650 at the top menu and then user settings, there's something in there for audio to reduce the external volume when you're outside by the X-number decibels.
Roger, Austrian 7 Papa Romeo, we are taxiing to holding point Hotel 1 initially and crossing.
No, it doesn't do anything.
East traffic.
Really interesting.
It's still very loud. Oh, and check the box. So hang on. So user settings.
Oh yeah, check the box.
Oh yeah, you're right. Tis. My bad. Sorry. Ah, that's better, right? Yeah. Again, sorry for busting your ears, guys. Good.
It's stupid loud outside.
Yeah, it's better now. Right. So before take checklist, passenger signs are advising on. Anti-collision light is now on. Shall I give you some takeoff lights as well?
If you
Yeah.
yeah,
up,
go on.
up here anyway, so probes on, windshield heat is on, wing count is not required, continuous ignition is on, we've got TCAS, TARA, supplementary ground wing anti-ice panel checked. It's checked. CAS takeoff config okay, it's checked.
Yeah, we have.
And then landing poles or recognition lights on. And that's the before take checklist completed. Next will be
Sweet.
after takeoff.
Okay, on my side, lights clear if you'd like to make the call.
East traffic, Oscar Whiskey, Echo Golf lining up, departing 2 to left on the VATSIM 7 X-ray departure in Nice.
Okay, any last minute questions before we go?
No sir, all good.
Beautiful. Make it a rolling takeoff, why not?
Yes. Throttle is on.
50% and change.
Looking stable.
There.
Thrust set. 110 knots. That's B1 VR. Blimey! Positive rain.
They're quicker than your ever, so.
Yeah,
Gear
positive
up,
cloud. Gear up. Blimey, that's quick.
I'll take flaps up.
Yes, flaps up.
And then if you could give me nav and flight level change for 240 knots, please.
You get VNAV is set nav, flight level change 240 is set.
Wonderful. And I'll take the after takeoff checklist, please.
After takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, flaps are 0, thrust reversers off, continuous ignition off, pressurization check. So 7 feet per minute climb rate at the moment. Looking good. It's checked. And PAX transition complete. N1 climb set. So performance climb.
Traffic for King 1831 landing up 2 left.
How do you set the climb power now?
Have you done the... Hold on. Just give me 1 second.
East traffic.
That's enough ham flying for one day if you want engaged.
He's crossing runway.
Yeah, 2000
go. Time going to like
Hotel 34 to left east traffic.
Okay, so you on the PAX, so you need to move us onto the 10th stage and bring out the APU LCV, the isolations, and then shut down the APU.
Ah, okay, that's it. Right, there we go.
And then in the perf, you see we've got climb power.
Yeah, now
climb
I was just wondering.
thrust limit.
You see, I've just done too much pilot flying lately, so that's why I actually want to do pilot monitoring for once.
Yeah, to go, no worries.
Because otherwise I don't learn these items. Right, leveling off 10,000, climb 190 then.
Yeah, so let's go. So that will change 240. I'm also just gonna put us onto the onto the scheduled speeds.
And transition level as well.
Yeah, so it's a standard indicating 105 now.
Checked. Right, got my headset on as well. So what else do we need to do? So N1 climb power set, APU generators off, APU is shut down, passenger designs, yeah, it's smooth, isn't it? So we'll go auto. CAS clear, yeah, CAS is clear.
Austrian 7 Papa
That's the
Romeo
after takeoff
is
check is
lining
complete.
up 22 left and
Wonderful.
waiting 2 minutes for traffic separation.
Okay, T-Castle looks nice and squeaky clean. If you're happy, we'll keep the climb going to 300.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, 300 stats.
How to get the charts displayed? You have a button there on the lower menu there. So you have 2 panels, the upper and the lower there on your side. And then you just click on the charts prompt. So upper menu, I'm going to put this to off. Actually, let's put this. No worries, Pump, all good. Hey, Mighty Morph, hello, how you doing? Austin Weather Pro. Well, did you read about the fact that XP12 Hi-Fi, so Active Sky for X-Plane, are about to release a beta version for Active Sky in the coming days. So that's good news. Maybe that will fix some of these cloud issues, or improve the cloud art in general. So, let me mess about again. It's been a while. So I want to have.
Traffic, Austrian 7 Papa Romeo is taking off runway.
Let's go overlays.
Oh yeah, I forgot to do that as well.
So peaks, weather, traffic on. So then we've got geopolitical.
Yeah, so the Formula I normally run a geopole airspace speeds and altitudes. Because it gives you like a really nice overview.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of hot airways though, if you have those on. Wait, let me put airports as well. Airports. There we go. That's good.
I'm just going to give the stream a tour of the back while you tell me around with that if you're happy.
Hey Ashley, can't wait for Active Sky Explain Trust. So, yeah, I mean, anything that may just help improve, you know, the reliability of the data, and yeah, some you know, maybe just some more stable cloud art without the puffiness of these clouds. We'll see. We'll see what it brings to the table. So, it's not a long flight, so let me go ahead and already get the charts out for Innsbruck. There we go. So, airport, let's have a look. Airport info. Good. And then for the arrival, we said it's going to be the Breno 3 Alpha arrival. So we're coming from the south. Breno, lots of terrain. Hey Oggy, how you doing? Do you know if the default PC-12 is a good aircraft? Do you mean in Microsoft Flight Sim?
Is there a default PC-12 NMS first?
I don't know. It's because he's asking. Do you know if the default PC-12 is a good aircraft? Does X-Plane 12 have a PC-12?
Don't know. I've never flown it. If there is,
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, 1,000 feet to go. So, according to the flight plan, which is you sent me, we are going to. We are going flight level. God, that layout always bugs me out. So there we go. Flight level. 300. Okay, so that's fine level. That's fantastic. Cool. So I'll give you a fuel check at Doraf. So Doraf will show up at 2.6. Sorry, 2.2 remaining. It says 2.2 remaining, and peanut. And that was. We went. Time, distance, estimate time over, actual time over. 11 minutes, so that's 13 minutes after takeoff, okay. Oh, Microsoft Flight Sim. I've never tried the PC-12, Oggy, I'm sorry. Because I'm a bit, you know, picky when it comes to these these add-ons. I don't really fly that much offline. I mean, I may do some, some testing at some time, but I don't do much flying when I'm not streaming in the sims. And then when I do stream, I want to stream aircraft that I'm happy with, and I know that they're entertaining enough to the viewers. What plane are we flying? Well, it's called the HotStart. So that's the add-on maker, HotStart Challenger 650. That's that you here.
What are your thoughts on the Phoenix as a whole?
I think I would always call it like a very solid add-on in a sense, when you compare all of the add-ons available on Microsoft Flight Sim. But one thing that still needs to be improved is kind of the manual flying characteristics, the handling.
Yes, I would agree.
So especially the flare. Now, it always sounds like a bad excuse, but obviously when I fly my aircraft, the real A320, and I'm doing a lot of flying in real life, and then I have my muscle memory. So the stick inputs I do in real life, I will do in the sim, and I don't fly that much offline. So when I do stream and then I fly the Phoenix, my brain kind of just simply tells my hand to do certain inputs into the flight stick according to my muscle memory. And so especially when I'm concentrating in the flare, it's so much going on subconsciously on how you manipulate the flight stick to have the aircraft perform in a certain way. And of course it doesn't translate correctly in the sim. So I'm trying to manipulate it. I try to think ahead of it, but I always get caught out because I'm trying to do the inputs I would do in real life, and then of course it doesn't work. Quite often, what I find in the Phoenix when you come into the flare and to the ground effect, if you delay the initial stick input, the aft input, and you get too far into that ground effect, literally the elevator becomes useless. The aircraft doesn't react literally at all to any stick inputs, which is quite frightening. And then so now I've tried to remember, okay, so try to do the first little break at 30 feet or just above 30 feet, and then the aircraft has already broken its descent rate a bit, and then I find you can actually do some further inputs and actually manage them to do a nice soft landing. But again, if you go through 30 feet, which I would do normally in real life, I don't often do a initial break at 30 feet. So maybe in a 321, or when my descent rate is very high, then yes. But otherwise, I delay that initial break until about somewhere in between 30 to 20 feet. Again, depending on the descent rate, obviously. But if I do that in the sim, in Microsoft Flight Sim, that's it. It'll be a smash into the ground, no matter how far I pull the stick back. So that's something obviously then I find annoying, and but a lot of things are really Microsoft Flight Sim related, not so much Phoenix related.
Yeah, I would agree with that to an extent. I have real issues in the flare with the Phoenix. It feels like there's a knife edge between slamming it and floating it halfway down the runway for me. I don't know if it's I haven't found the sweet spot or whether there's something wrong with the handling. Like I said, I've never flown a 320, so I don't feel like I'm particularly qualified to comment on it. But it doesn't. There's something about it that just feels off, I think, for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not alone on this. So you could literally maybe, with the FSI panel and set you back 3 miles and do, 20 landings. And
right.
then kind of find a hack, if you like, for yourself on how to land the Phoenix, nice and repetitively, nice and gentle. But otherwise, I'm sure you fly different aircraft types as well in the Sims. And I don't have that many issues in the 737 from PMG, strangely enough.
No, the 737 I'm really happy with. I can land that quite consistently, quite well.
No. Does the critical angle of attack decrease when you enter the ground effect? Well, I mean, the drag is reduced in the ground effect. So I would say, quite the contrary, the critical angle of attack will be increased when you enter ground effect. Well, that's just me answering out of, shooting from the hip there. Does the FS Labs behave better from your point of view? Yes. The FS Labs, I mean, that's again P3D then having a different flight model. But all in all, I can, land the FS Labs better, on average. Right, cool. So let's see, where are we? Currently over Italy. Yeah, there's Milan, Linate, so we're coming by just past Genoa. So, yeah, going nicely northeast bound. And we're currently doing Mach 0.8 almost, so we're pretty fast. Got a little bit tailwind. Well, yeah, about 30 knots tailwind component as well. So, how do I pronounce your name? KTHKS. So KT, welcome. Okay, thanks, bye. Okay, now I get it. Yeah, I'm terrible with these abbreviations. I'm sorry. I'm in a generation where I have my brain has difficulties with these things. My apologies. So all in all, Kwas, what's your absolute favorite aircraft then to fly?
Probably this, That probably doesn't give us too much of a shock.
Yeah.
But I do love this thing.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I find, and it may be again also to X-Plane, 11 or X-Plane 12 related, but when you hand fly the Challenger, or if I say I hand fly the TOLIS, here in an X-Plane, it just feels so much more realistic. It does feel, the whole package, if you like, just fits. And yeah, same here with the sophisticated systems. The way you can, if you're interested, that is, you can use the study menu, which I can't show you right now because I'm the slave mode here in Chat Flight, but you have a study prompt up here where you can call up all different systems, and because the way it's programmed, that all the systems are simulated correctly in the background, and you can call up these charts and pictures, and then you can switch. For example, I tried to switch around a bit with the bleed air system today, trying to see what the switches do and actually which valves they move. Yeah, and then at some point, if you think you've mastered all of the systems, well, you can start implementing failures, random failures, or you do not get bored with it. And I saw Kwas on your stream, the viewers have the chance to actually use their what value is that you have?
Just the channel points.
Welcome
channel
aboard
points.
the Captain Black Box
So they can use channel
subscriber
points
experience.
to actually activate
Could new
failures
subscribers
during the
please
stream,
make your way to the first class cabin,
which I find is a
where
fantastic,
complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium
fantastic
flight
feature.
entertainment will be served.
It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And sort of the challenges are just about the only thing that I found that you can really sort of reliably do it in. But it's nice having that variety because of the just the pure number of components that you can have that can fail.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a like I said, it's a challenge, and then of course if you master it, and it gives you a great feeling as well. Pilsnerish, thank you much for the 27 months. Thank you so much, Pilsnerish. As a real pilot, would you say that the A310 is true to life, even in the way it handles? Well, I mean, in X-Plane 12, definitely feels, again, I love the fact that when you fly it in X-Plane, you can actually feel difference between a light aircraft and a heavy aircraft. It makes a difference. The whole way it's simulated, the whole way it feels, it's just a different simulation. compared to Microsoft Flight Sim. So system-wise, I would say in Microsoft Flight Sim it's also very good, but hand flying wise, I found it okay. It's not bad hand flying wise, but I never had the feeling that, you know, it makes a big difference if you fly it at max landing weight or, you know, very light. So here's the question: how's X-Plane 12 these days? Quas, what do you think?
How's X-Plane 12? I like it. I think it's still got teething problems. But, you know, very few things don't these days. Ultimately, it's definitely a step up from X-Plane 11. Yep. But really, like, the hesitancy for me is there's only really 2 aircraft now that keep me on X-Plane 12. Or keep me on X-Plane at all. And that's this and the Fearless 742. Like, if one or both of those moved to MSFS, then I think I would just uninstall. It's nice having the more realistic, you know, sort of hand flying and all the rest of it, but it starts to... My problem with X-Plane is it's starting to show its age now a little bit, particularly in the context, or, you know, when you have MSFS to compare it to.
Yeah, I would agree with that. One thing that keeps me X-Plane, like I say, it's a Challenger here, obviously, and the TOLIS with the shared cockpit function. So shared flight should be released in the next couple of weeks. So the whole shared flight experience, and with that I mean, like here in the Challenger, it means easy connection, reliable connection, and a fallback system if you get, you know, if one of the participants has a crashed desktop or something, that you don't have to start the flight from scratch again, but you can actually load up again and resync and then continue from there. And the only aircraft really that's able to do that is the Challenger
Duo
650
channel
and the
experience.
TOLIS.
Could new subscribers please
I
make
don't
their way to
actually
the
own the
first class
TOLIS, but I
cabin,
really ought to
where
pick it up.
complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight
I
infotainment
don't do
will be
tons
served.
of Airbus flying.
Thank
It's
you.
sort of my thing. Particularly not an X-Plane. But if it's going to be, you know, really like high-level shared cockpit, then maybe it's worth a look.
For me, it's obviously, you know, people wanted to learn more about the Airbus and
Sure.
and that in kind of a shared flight environment. You know, sharing the fun together, you know, that's really the key. So yeah, that's why. One thing that I find annoying in X-Plane 12 right now is the clouds.
Yes.
Weather simulation, yeah, that needs to be improved. The visuals have improved, and one big advantage, if at some stage we get very stable, realistic weather conditions, is of course these dynamic weather situations where, let's say, like in wintertime now, you fly somewhere where they have, you know, heavy snow showers, and then actually having that impacting your braking coefficients on the runway and the way the aircraft handles on the runway. That is cool. You know, that just adds another dimension for us flight simmers to having to look at and respect. Hey Knippy, that's really kind of you. Thanks for joining our community, Knippy. Let me give you a round of applause for that. Oh, I don't know why the sound's not working today. Thank you so much for that. Big thank you. Yeah, so shared cockpit in Microsoft. Now, I know that there's some apps floating around, and Mark, some Lindley, one of my mods, and Magus have tried one of these apps, and unfortunately, it's already having issues connecting correctly, synchronizing, you know, MCU stuff correctly, and then it does not have a fallback procedure. So apparently people have managed to reconnect, but again, if you have to spend tons and tons of time troubleshooting connection problems, synchronization problems, etc., then it just kills all the fun of shared flying. So so, you know, it really does need the help of the developers to get access to the data refs from the aircraft, that you can synchronize them, to really make a stable shared flight environment, or have a system like the HotStart Challenger has.
Personally, I think the Challenger's integration is probably the best that I've seen. The only thing I could compare it to is, I don't know if you'll remember it, but the shared cockpit in the
Q400?
Dash 8. Yeah, which was also incredible.
Yeah, that was very good as well, yeah.
That was a lot more of a pain to set up.
The biggest issue with that is really having your router open that port.
Yeah, right.
And that's really where things failed most of the time. But if you got that working and you got connected, then then it was actually very stable. Yeah.
We ended up having to use Hamachi and all manner of things. That
yeah.
It was just such a pain.
And then, people saying, well, Hamachi's not safe though, and well, I don't know, so we got connected. We managed with the just a one port open direct connection that worked. Yeah. So Federico, I mean, the shared flight, I know that it's called shared cockpit, which is reliant on the community making these data ref files or these connection files, but the big thing there again is you have a direct connection, while shared flight, when it comes out, is going a different way. They're going to have different servers around the world, so depending on where in the world you are, you'll be connecting through a remote server, and so both the host and the slave will then connect through that server, and and the aircraft that will be compatible, will have that fallback option where you can, resynchronize again without having to set up the whole flight again. Yeah, Mark, exactly. So the UI is a lot modern, a lot better. Yeah, the experience, the whole experience is better. The downside will be for people seeing that it's going to cost a fee. But I would say that's fair, looking at how expensive servers can be these days. But it shouldn't really be that expensive. And I'm thinking about maybe, oops, sorry, that was me. That was Margaret. Maybe, giving out some sponsorships for some of these. Oh, I'm not sure if I've crashed or you've crashed.
I'm still fine.
Okay, no, it's just a lag here, a bit lag. That could be my site with the scenery. I'm just gonna
yeah, maybe just trying to load everything in.
Yeah, right. Because I do have.
On the subject of which,
yeah.
We're like 4 minutes from top of drop. If you want to start looking at that.
Ooh, really? Oh
yeah.
My god. Okay. Right. Yeah, we're chatting away. Good. But my captain has an eagle eye on our progress here. So, yeah, we're coming up to Breno. There. So the arrival route. So Breno 14,000 it says. And let me have a quick look at the grid altitudes right now, so that I know how far down we can go. It should log on. Oh, no, that's the weather, I guess.
No, I went and got the ATIS.
Perfect. All right, so grid's going to be going up 15.7, 14.2. So I would say 16,000 at the moment is the lowest we can go. And we've got may I just go page 1 again?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So we've got information Papa, 1850 UTC. So it's a bit old, that weather. So I'm gonna have a look at the VATSIM weather.
That should be the VATSIM ATIS in theory.
Yeah.
They're typically about 15 minutes behind the real one.
So transition level is not determined yet. We'll get that from ATC. Wind is 288, so it has come down a bit, which is good. We've got scattered 5,000, broken 6,000, temperature 8, QNH 1,000. Okay, fantastic. Right, I'll pre-dial that here as well. 1000. Cool. So yeah, if you've got the arrival in here, I'll just check the arrival path. Litzum, Umweg, Rattenberg. And you may have a discontinuity there between Rattenberg.
Yeah, well, that's there is no path natively from Rattenberg to the approach, and that's where the approach starts anyway. So I was going to leave that discontinuity in and see what air traffic wants to do.
Okay. And you planning for the RMP Echo? Was
The
it?
RMP Echo for 26, yeah.
Let me see. I think. Yeah, I think it would be safe to put in Whiskey India 610 after Rattenberg. Just close
You
that
think?
there.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that way we have at least a nice path.
Yep, okay, fair enough.
Okay, so that's the LPV then, and the minimums for the LPV Cat 1. Misapproach gradient. We can mess about with that in the performance page, right? Approach.
7.1 degrees, I think we can manage.
Yeah, and it says, wasn't there a way we could actually enter the required gradient somewhere?
Oh, great question. Let me go have a look.
Okay, there we go. So Tota's right on it. Go into defaults. Page 5.
Yeah, index page 2 defaults. What is it, page 3?
5 it says.
Page 5.
Yeah.
Climb gradient percentage. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, you said that. Perfect. See how good this is modeled? Amazing. So, because then what we can do, it says for the approach climb gradient, 11.6% and landing climb gradient is 23.1%. So
we're well in superseded of 7.1.
so that means
Wonderful.
we can take the lowest minimum there,
Wonderful.
which is 3,300.
Yes, which I don't really want to wind on, but I will.
Well, actually, I can do that for you if you wish.
I'm on it.
Oh,
3,300.
yeah, that's
there we go.
That's quick. Cool. And then yeah. So one
Cool.
is so the approach climb gradient is with gear up, flaps in missed approach configuration, and one engine, while the landing climb gradient is both engines, but correct me if I'm wrong, it's gear down and flaps landing configuration now.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so that's a difference. And normally, I mean, the airliners are usually approach climb gradient limited and not landing climb. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty.
We've got vertical aviation.
Yeah.
VNAV, so we'll start down
So we don't have any control just yet. I think, yeah, we're going to be entering into Innsbruck airspace soon.
Yeah.
Although,
Well, I've bugged down to the bottom, and then if they want to stop us off before that, then we'll.
yeah. It could be Wien radar. So center
Oh, potentially, yeah.
32.6. I'm just to pre-dial that and then.
Okay. And then if you want to run through an approach briefing, we can.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah. So, descent checklist would be the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Ready for it when you are.
So, shoulder harness secure.
Secured.
Yeah, me too. Passenger signs will go on now. Pressurization set, so it's about 2,000 feet. Altimeter set
landing
as
elevation,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, and the baro is about 29.5 is set. Fuel quantity balance check. So we've got 1,900 kilograms, and what I can tell you is that we require for for some reason I've got lints here on my. But let me just check that with your flight plan. If I find it, that is. So final reserve plus alternate is 900 kilogram.
Okay, so we've got a ton to play with.
Yeah. So, and that's for Salzburg, correct? You did enter that.
I planned it for Munich because it was longer.
Oh, okay. Okay, Munich. Okay, fine. All right. Cool. Yeah, so
Okay,
we got.
if we could make Munich,
I would say safe wise, what we say, let's say 800 kilograms extra, which is plenty to do a second approach if needed.
Yep.
Okay, so fuel's balanced and checked 50 kilograms difference, but that's fine. CAS is clear, it's checked. Approach briefing was
okay.
Yeah, let's go through that.
Okay, great. We'll try and make it snappy. So we've cleared ourselves on the Breno 3 Alpha.
Cool.
There's a contact me for 128.97.
128.97. Okay.
Yeah. That was loud.
Oh, that was quite. It's quiet for me, strangely enough.
Oh yeah, I need to sort my
Servus Wien, the Oscar Whiskey Echo Golf.
Oscar Whiskey Echo Golf, Innsbruck radar could not identified info Quebec. For traffic, continue present heading and please squawk 1000.
We maintain present heading, squawk 1000, Oscar Whiskey Echo Golf.
present heading sets.
Delta Romeo Golf, Wien 126275, servus.
Contact Wien on 126.275, Delta Foxtrot India Romeo Golf, danke dir, ciao.
Oscar Echo Golf, descent flight level 140, any preferred approach?
Oscar Echo Golf, descend level 140, and we would appreciate the RNP Echo approach into Innsbruck.
Oscar Echo Golf, roger, expect the RNP Echo runway 26.
Expecting RNP Echo 26, thank you, Oscar Echo Golf. Good.
Wonderful. Okay. You get to continue.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, so we've vectored off the star, but we are on the Breno 3 Alpha anyway. So the intended routing is Breno, Whiskey India. Breno, Lysum, Umweg, and then to Rattenberg to hold. We have set down fixes of Breno 14, Lysum 14, Umweg, adder above 12, and Rattenberg adder above 9.5. With a published hold, if we get nothing further, of 255 inbound, right turns and 1 minute legs.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. We have been told to expect the RMP Echo then for runway 26,
You're climbing.
which is a bit of a doozy.
So, just, I don't know why you're climbing. Yeah.
Oh, why are we climbing? Am I? Let's take it out of. Yes, there we go.
Okay, fantastic.
I think I got a bit confused with the profile.
Oscar Echo Golf, turn right heading 065.
Right heading 065, Oscar Echo Golf.
There's Innsbruck letting in. Sorry, yeah, okay. So the RMP Echo then runway 26 will expect to join at Whiskey India 610, which we are to cross at of 9.5. This routing Whiskey India 666 at above 9, Whiskey India 611 at above 7.2, 612 at above 6.3, 613 at 5750, and then a standard 3-degree glide to a minimums of, for us, 3,300 feet. Our weather minima for that is an RVR of 1,500 meters, which we're well within with the weather at Innsbruck, so that's all absolutely fine. In the event of I missed approach, then it's a bit of a dodgy one. So with a maximum of 153 knots and a 25-degree bank required back left to Whiskey India 103, and then the missed approach track.
Yeah, 130. I'm not sure if you caught that.
130 for that.
Yeah. No heading. No, the heading.
130 level, Roger.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Back to the final approach track. Yeah, up to 9.5 to hold again.
707, descend 9,500 feet.
Obviously, the big threat is terrain. Right, so we'll be mindful of that, and it's going to be a case of terrain radars on and good eyes out when we're down the tube. The numbers we have ref of 125 and an AC of 125, and then a FTO of 148. So that means we can stay at FTO for the turn back around mist, and we're all fine and dandy there.
sounds
like I said, we've got enough fuel for another approach, so
Oscar
worst comes to the
Golf,
worst, you just
if
go back to
able, please
Rattenberg and try
slightly
again.
increase your rate of descent.
We'll increase rate of descent, Oscar Echo Golf.
I just put it on the pink dot.
Yeah.
There we go. And then our planned alternate, if it all goes Pete-Tong, is Munich, but we can have a look and see if there's any issues there. Due to the nature of the runway, if we do encounter any issues on the final approach course, it's probably best, depending on the situation, but anything affecting flight controls, undercarriage, anything like that, will go missed. Enter the hole at Rattenberg probably and diagnose the issue and deal with it from there. I would say that anything tremendously serious, we'll probably look at going somewhere else just because of the challenging nature of the approach, if that sounds reasonable to you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But, you know, hopefully it doesn't come to that. Do you have any questions about the approach?
No, I'm clear with the approach. All good. So
Okay,
no,
all right,
no
we'll
questions.
give it a go then.
Yeah, I'm just going to go fetch weather from Salzburg as well, trying to get a overall picture here.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
So doing good on descent here, 5,000 to go. And so briefing is completed, and that means
Bearing 707, maintain 160 knots or greater.
gonna wait for the transition level by ATC.
Speed 160 knots, Bearing 707.
So
Echo Golf, turn left heading 030.
left heading 030, Oscar Echo Golf. Okay, so we got winds southerly, so it'll be 1.5 for the approach in
Echo Golf,
Salzburg.
descend 9,500 feet, QNH 1000.
Descend 9,500 feet, QNH 1000, Oscar Echo Golf.
QNH 1000 set my side 315.3 now.
15.3 checked, 1000 QNH checked, Pascal set. I'll set that on the standby as well, fantastic. Yeah, so Salzburg is good, a few 5,000s, get at 7,000, broken 8,000, so...
Okay, so Salzburg is definitely an option as well then.
As well, yeah.
Okay. I'll take the... how much have you got left on the descent checklist?
No, descent checklist is finished, the next will be in-range checklist.
Okay, yeah, let's start on the in-range checklist then.
In-range checklist, APU start.
In wind 031, speed 220 knots.
Yeah, altimeters, 3 cross-checks.
Echo Golf, left correction. Are you able for direct Whiskey India 610 to join the RNP?
Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we are, Oscar Echo Golf.
On navigation, direct Whiskey India 610, cleared the RNP Echo runway 26.
Direct Whiskey India 610 and cleared the RMP Echo 26 from that waypoint, Oscar Echo Golf.
Appearance 707, maintain the speed until
Bring us
passing
back on. And onto the
Maintain the
profile
speed
speeds
and
now.
passing O.
Yeah, so I can confirm 9,500 will be
9,500
safe on the
707.
way to Whiskey India
If you
610.
may descend with the approach,
Wonderful.
you're cleared for the approach, but please maintain the speed until Romeo uniform Mike.
Cleared for approach, maintain
Okay,
speed 10.
APU start.
Bank
angle. Bank angle.
160 knots
Oh,
until
I don't
you
know why
Mike.
that's called.
Bearing
It's
707.
its own bank angle,
Romeo
okay.
uniform Mike to confirm.
So avionics,
You Mike.
we're doing RP approach. Do you want anything tuned as a backup, or are you happy with it?
We've got the EGNOS, so I don't really see too much of a need for it. We could maybe bang in the localizer anyway on 111.1, just in case.
111.1 in the backup there. Okay. Yeah. Oops.
Scandinavian 031, when reaching 160 knots, descend 9,500 feet.
External
QNH
lights, I'll give
1000.
you line lights.
160,
Thanks.
descend 9,500.
N1 target.
Appearance 707, contact tower
So we want to
120.
have takeoff.
Jar
Is maximum
Yes, please. There is.
0.1770.
So APU PAX transitions, so I need to switch back on the APU
Yeah.
LCV.
Yeah, so the 10th stage come out and the APU LCV and the outstation come in.
Austrian 7 Papa Romeo is on
So
flight
that's
level
complete.
180.
APU generator is
Papa Romeo,
on.
Innsbruck radar, good evening, identified info Quebec.
Pass
Squawk
check,
1000,
pass is clear.
cleared Breno 3 Alpha
Wonderful.
arrival.
Just checking, we've got a bit of
cleared Breno
humidity or
3 Alpha arrival.
liquid in the air and
Austrian 7
temperature
Papa Romeo.
currently.
Tats +3.
Yeah, we'll switch on the.
I think we're going to be out of it in relatively short order though.
Innsbruck approach, Servus, Lufthansa 2 Mike
Yeah, let me put engine
Quebec,
anti-ice on.
Passenger level 160,
Okay,
descending
Ignition
130.
is going to continuous.
2 Mike Whiskey Innsbruck radar, Servus identified, turn left heading 135, Quebec correct, expect localizer east approach.
So we have currently
Left heading 135,
about
Lufthansa
8
2
miles
Mike
to
Whiskey,
go.
engine for Anna
1,015 feet to go as well, so looks alright for the path.
Turn. Expect from
Agreed.
Battenberg, in this case, turn further left heading
Oh wait, by the way,
110.
one thing I did catch, so the path
110,
is
Lufthansa
3.57 degrees down.
Oh, it's a 3 foot. Sorry, my mistake.
Just checking.
7 Papa Romeo, descent via star, 14,000 feet, QNH 1000.
Yeah, 3.57 is programmed correctly.
Stand by
wonderful.
star 14,000, QNH 1000. Austrian 7 Papa Romeo.
Lufthansa 2
Right,
Mike
okay,
Whiskey,
clear for the
reduce
approach
speed
then. I'm going to
200
bug us all
knots.
the way down to
60
33.
200, Lufthansa 2 Mike Whiskey.
Yeah, he said cleared approach yet, so.
Yeah.
We're going to cross Whiskey India 910 at 9.5 or above. Next one 9,000 and so on. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that.
Roger. Yeah, we should be in set for the VLF path here in plenty of time anyway.
Okay, so that's
031, you cleared
in
localizer
range
east
checklist
approach.
completed. Hey,
Wonderful.
Claptic, hello.
Good, localizer DME east approach. Set of 2.
So Total writes as well, PL21 has an automatic instrument comparator which will alert you if any
Lufthansa 2 Mike
primary
Whiskey, when you reduce to
flight
speed
instruments
200
are
knots,
out of limits.
descent
Okay.
10,000 feet,
Thank you
QNH
much, Total, for
1000.
that. And Simpsons, a good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Greetings. Okay, so
I've got no approach as a caption, which I wasn't expecting.
1, 2, 3, 4, climbing flight level 120 via
But it's also taking approach on my phone, so I'm just not going to worry about it.
what's it gone now for me?
123 fans for radar, radar
Yep,
contact.
agreed.
Climb level 160.
Yeah, approach is on.
Okay, I'm going to start winding it back in.
Echo Golf, maintain 160 or greater for the moment, please.
160 greater Austrian, sorry, the Oscar Echo Golf, not Austrian.
That would be
Lufthansa 2 Mike
definitely good.
Whiskey, on navigation direct
And
to
Sanders, hello.
Ratzenberg. Direct to Ratzenberg, Lufthansa 2 Mike Whiskey.
So TT +5. Yeah, I'll leave the engine anti-ice running for now.
And 7 Papa Romeo, you're going the wrong way. You were cleared Breno 3 Alpha, the arrival. That's going to the east, not the west.
Inform, we already adjusted
Okay,
it.
showing us on the
we
path.
are turning right now to
Yep, agreed.
Breno 3 Alpha.
It's a little bit steep.
That's a direct lead zoom.
But we're in clear right now, so hopefully it should slow us down. In fact, what are we, below 250? Let's take gear down now just to help sort of get some of the speed up.
14,000 feet.
Gear down.
That's 1234, München, 134, 150. Bye-bye.
Yeah, the only limitation was 160 or more.
Yeah,
Look at that.
that's fine.
Contact München
It's beautiful, isn't it?
134, 150, Kreuz 1234.
Oh!
Whoops. Reduce final approach
What's up?
speed.
Toto says gear limit is 197.
Mike Whiskey,
Oh,
descend
whoops.
9,500 feet, cleared
Oh,
RMB
well.
Zulu 26. 9,500 feet, cleared RMB Zulu 26, Lufthansa 2 Mike Whiskey.
Look at that, 197. Okay, let's slow back to 160 then, and
Good evening, Innsbruck.
what's the flap limits?
Compliment with you.
Flaps 20, 231. Okay, we'll do flaps 20 then, please.
Yes.
Easy 36
Flaps
Golf
20.
Lima, you are in radar contact.
So you're gonna have to press that button combination.
Orange
Yeah.
768 inbound Rattenberg, passing flight of 160 4130 with information Quebec. 768, good evening, identified
Oh, yellow
Quebec correct,
caption,
localized
flaps
east
fail.
approach, speed 200 knots
Okay,
please.
so I can see that 14 degrees.
200 and clear
flaps
Yeah,
fail.
flaps indicating 14 and set steady.
Is it any asymmetry?
Tower 1201,
Not that it's indicated,
No.
and trims appear to be level, so that wouldn't indicate lift asymmetry.
Okay.
Oscar Golf, own speed, Tower 1201, Servus.
On speed 1201. Can we just maintain your frequency for a few more seconds? We got a flaps issue at the moment.
No worries.
Okay,
D36
it's
Golf,
probably
Lima,
best to go
climb
mist
level
here, I would
160
say.
direct Kugol.
I would
Okay,
agree.
no.
Yeah.
Cool.
Echo
All
Golf,
right.
Adam 16,
Okay. Go
I'll
on.
let them know and then maybe get a clearance. Oscar Echo Golf,
Okay.
we're going to have to abort the approach, requesting climb back up to safe altitude.
Okay, Echo Golf, sorry, second.
Yeah, we have an issue with the flaps. We need to abort the approach and requesting a climb to safe altitude, please.
Cockpit, climb flight over 120, approach clearance is cancelled, and can you fly the standard missed approach?
That's a firm climbing level 120. Initially, we can fly the missed approach, Oscar Echo Golf. Okay, so your manual flight, I can see, go around, alt select 12,000 sets.
Wasn't intending in manual flight, but apparently we are.
Yeah. I can tell you that we've got positive climb. You want to
031,
gear up?
contact Innsbruck Tower 120.
I'll take the gear up, please.
Yeah, a bit less drag. So gear's coming up.
And probably best to leave the flaps where they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
768 descent, 1,000 feet, QNH 1,000.
I mean, you said max speed is 230.
We're descending to 1,000 on QNH
Flaps 20, but I think if you go 200 knots, I think that's a good level.
C36 Golf Lima, contact München.
Yeah, can you bug me 200 knots flight level change, please?
Absolutely.
Contact München 134.150, easy to see, Golf Lima, bye.
So 200 knots flight will change set.
Thank you. Okay, we'll give the aircraft its
Innsbruck approach, good evening, Jet Airline 70, with you descending for 170, information Quebec.
Oh, hello. Okay, so 12000 bugged, AP, LF1 flight will change to advance.
Okay, so the only thing I would be worried about is that tight turn, which we sort of should have flown
768, turn left heading 145.
at 153 max, but I think since we are above...
heading 145.
Yeah, I would say we're going to be comfortably above the MVA, so I would say it's not a factor, and we're happy at 200 knots.
Mike Bisky, confirm the speed is still 200 knots as assigned?
No, we are
So-
180, but we're going to...
Okay, so let's... Okay, so the aircraft's happy it's doing what it's doing, so let's have...
180.
have you got the checklist down?
Oscar Echo Golf,
Yes,
identified level 120, turn right heading 270. Are you able to hold in the area of LMM?
Heading 270 and A firm, we would be able to hold LMM, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so 270 on the heading.
768, descend 9,500.
Heading 270.
Descend to 9,500, or 768.
Yeah, I've got the checklist
7
out.
Papa Romeo, descend 2,000 feet.
Okay, so to confirm that it's a flaps fail indication, so let's see what
Oscar
we've
Golf,
got.
climb flight level 130, direct LMM to hold at LMM is published.
Roger, Dr. LMM hold as published, climbing level 130, Oscar Echo Golf.
LMEM, he said.
Yeah. I mean, I can do that for you if you just climb 130, then...
Okay, yeah, go for it.
I'll do that. Yeah, so I'll go...
Orange 768, turn right, direct Advik, cleared localizer DME East approach. We should turn right, direct Advik, cleared for the localizer DME East, Orange 768. Then 7 Papa Romeo, turn right, heading 065.
Yeah, so almost 30 miles. It's, should be direct 2 now.
Will we want to engage LNAV? There we go. Yeah, LNAV1.
Yeah. All right, and hold.
70, speed 250 knots, please.
Speed 250 over Jet.
Is it a published hold or if...
Yeah, I'll just check. So it's published at
768,
inbound
maintain speed
148 degrees and left
Speed
turns.
180, Orange 768.
I'll program that in for you if you like.
Thank you.
Just go
7
fly.
Papa Romeo, descend 1,000 feet.
So 148 degrees,
1,000 feet.
left turn, and the lowest is 13,000, but we should go with flat level. Sorry, bad call on my side.
Oh, sorry, yes, quite correct.
That's-
Set standard
Oscar Golf,
133 and
set
descending.
standard
Oh, ice
pressure,
capture
you
as well.
indicated flight level 133.
Yeah, that's
if you could grab
correct.
the
We
wings.
are correcting now, descending 130, Oscar Echo Golf. Yeah, good catch from the control as well. So,
Yes.
Okay.
7 Papa Romeo, speed 200.
Speed
Good.
200.
So the
Okay.
hold should be in. Let me just confirm
70,
that.
please commence your descent to 13,000 feet.
130 for Jet.
Yes, that's in.
Okay. So we've got aviate, navigate, communicate done.
Wonderful.
And it says ice. That means we need wing anti-ice?
Yeah, which is on normal, so we're just waiting on it to warm up.
Okay.
But we're in intermittent icing conditions here, so I'm not too worried.
All right. Cool. Then
7 Papa Romeo on navigation direct
fuel at the
Advik.
moment 1,600 kilograms.
Yep.
Fuel flow
Clear navigation direct
currently
Advik, Austrian 7 Papa
is about 700 kilograms, 720 kilograms per hour.
Yeah. So we've got about 2 hours of fuel.
Exactly. Okay, cool. So if you're happy, I would be able to start the flaps fail checklist.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Good. So message would be flaps fail. I can confirm that. So flaps failure occurred at less than 8 degrees. No.
No.
It's about 14 degrees, it
7
says.
Papa Romeo, descent 10,000 feet.
So flaps select
10,000 feet.
to
Austrian 7
closest
Papa Romeo.
detent position less than
7
actual flaps,
descent 2,000 feet.
actual flaps position, and do not attempt to operate flaps any further.
So I would say that's flaps 0.
Yeah, because it's closer less the actual.
Okay, so
Also to Mike
flaps 0.
Whiskey, maintain 160 knots or greater until a beam Rumpf.
Okay, so
60
still
knots
still flaps for
or greater
that's
until a
fine.
beam Segen Whiskey.
So
Rumpf, das schöne NDB Rumpf.
next will be maximum en route airspeed (VFE).
Ja, until a beam
So flaps extended would be 20, I guess, in that region. So that's 230 indicated was
70
maximum.
speed 200 knots.
Okay.
Speed
I'll have to stay
200
at 200 for now, I think.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Note, if flaps are confirmed retracted, but we can deny that it's not, so we have 14 degrees.
I'd agree.
Caution, if possible, avoid prolonged flight and icing. Oh, lol. If icing is encountered for an extended period of time, aerodynamic buffet may be experienced.
Well, noted, but we can't really descend
Tower
here,
1 to
and I
0
would
1
say
Zeros.
the benefit that we'll get of climbing out of the
Exactly.
icing.
The only thing
Yeah.
that we could do if we get prolonged icing is to climb out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
7 Papa Romeo, descent 9,500
It would then
feet.
say AR certified
And
airplanes,
9,700.
but I
Austrian
think
7 Papa Romeo.
are we AR
70
certified?
descent 10,500
I don't believe so.
feet.
Okay, so then it says flaps failure occurred at 45 degrees.
115
No.
jet Netherlands.
Negative 105.
105.
So prior to landing, flaps failure occurred at less than 20 degrees.
Orange 7 established low
Which
gravity
clicked, yeah.
So yes,
Fuel
fuel balance
maintained
check.
160 until room.
60 kilograms in the
Yeah,
air.
it's checked. TORS warning flaps off. Good God, where are you with that?
Okay, that's in front of the throttles on the TORS switches here. So that's toggled off now.
Oh, there we go. Now, yes, it was hidden for me. So, just there we go. So we got TORS flaps off. TORS
Yeah.
warning
768, tower 1 to 0
RAS if installed off.
We have RAS.
And then final approach speed VREF plus VREF Delta
Romeo, confirm your indicated airspeed is still
for
200
next
knots.
smaller flaps setting from failed position.
So that would be flaps 0 for us then.
Yeah, and that would be adding 30 knots to that.
Right.
7 Papa Romeo, confirm your indicated
So
airspeed
try to
is
remember that's a
200
lot
knots.
lot faster than we would normally have.
Correct, yeah.
If 200 Austrian 7 Papa
Then when prior to 100 feet AGL ATS disconnect.
Yes,
70
because it won't
descent,
retard
9,500 feet,
the
clear
throttles
localized
automatically.
East approach.
And then
9,500 feet and cleared for the
ATS will not
localizer.
transition
Switch
into
jet
landing
Netherlands.
mode and will not retard thrust levers at 50 feet AGL, just like you said.
Yeah.
Thrust levers position manually. That will be obviously later when ATS disconnected.
Yep.
And actual landing distance increased by a factor. So if we do
7 Papa
the
Romeo, when established, actually you cleared localized
with reverse or
East
without
approach. When
reverse?
established, maintain 180 knots or
Well, we'll say
greater.
with reverse.
yeah, so it would be
When
at flaps 0
established,
degrees, assume plus
gain
30
180,
knots. It would be
that's
1.7,
greater,
so 75%
Austrian 7
increase
Papa Romeo.
and required
On our landing distance. Okay, well we can go to the approach page here and we can take our landing factor and plug that in of 1.75 and just see what that gives us. It gives us an actual landing distance of 1,385.
Maintain maximum 180
But what we
knots.
can also do is we can
From
also
Rotterberg,
give it a
maximum
wet
180
runway
knots, jet Netherlands.
Yeah.
and then tell it that we are adding 30 knots So I don't actually know if it'll take an entry that big. I don't think it will. It might not take 30 knots.
But can you insert the value itself? So 178, let's say, in VREF. Oh, sorry, 155 VREF. Oh, hang on,
Nope.
Delta VREF up here, 30.
Yeah, I tried that and it won't take it.
Ah, okay. Only for
Never mind. I
only
thought
for,
that was what you.
Yeah, your total says only for contaminated runways. Okay.
Okay, never mind then. So it is about that. Okay. So it reckons our actual landing distance is 1385. So in theory we could land at Innsbruck.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, so is that the end of the flaps fail check?
Exactly. That's the thing. Before we go into fact finding, etc., let's just continue with the checklist.
Okay. Yeah.
So note. Accomplish a normal descent, typically with a vertical speed of
Oscar Whiskey Echo Golf Innsbruck.
Oscar Echo Golf, go ahead.
Just to confirm, you have a flaps issue only at this moment, correct?
Yeah, we're currently working through it. It seems like the flaps are stuck at about 14 degrees. We're about to enter the published LMM holding. We're going through the checklist. We should be ready with some more information in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, typical thing. You read the checklist, and then ATC comes on, because ATC doesn't know that you're reading a checklist right now. So
Yeah.
it's because they want their infos, right? So now we have to pick up again the right point at the checklist. So note, accomplish a normal descent, typically with a vertical speed of not more than 400 feet per minute at touchdown.
Oh, well, no promises, but I'll do my best.
And then continued caution. Improper landing technique during a flaps failure can generate nose gear loads sufficient to cause structural damage. No pressure there.
Right.
To prevent damage, after main gear touchdown, gently lower the nose to the runway. Apply brakes only after nose wheel touchdown. And then before selecting reverse thrust, ensure that nose wheel touchdown is achieved with nose down, elevator applied.
Because it has an aft moment when you apply the reverses and it can tip the aircraft.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so it's going into a parallel entry, it said, on the FMS. That looks good.
Very good. Oh, we're being buffeted a little bit.
Yeah.
It's probably not fantastically comfortable for the people in the back.
No, but as long as it's managed. We could still climb out, but obviously that would be or taking anything in advance, because we haven't really decided yet where we want to go. Okay, so that's the flaps fail checklist completed. So, facts, Quas.
So, facts. We've had a flaps failure indication from the aircraft, and it would appear that the flaps are stuck at about 14 degrees of extension. We have run through the appropriate checklist, and the flaps we are unable to move the flaps any further. That has had a negative impact on the performance of the aircraft in the landing phase.
Yeah.
So in terms of options, we can't really do anything to rectify the situation in the air, right? So our options, as far as I can see them, are to continue and try again to land at Innsbruck, or to divert.
Yeah.
The risks of landing at Innsbruck, namely the big one that I can think of with the VREF plus 30, if we needed to go missed again on the RMP Echo 26, I don't think we'd be safe at the 153 knots required for the missed approach procedure.
That is a good point, for one. For two, with that higher ground speed, we have two problems. One is a 3.6 degree slope down, and we're missing a lot of drag because the flaps are at 14 degrees.
Yes, agreed.
So that may be somewhat, I don't know, badly manageable from approach point of view. And agreeing with the misapproach, I would see that as an issue as well. And then the landing technique. So we know that we need about, let's say, 1500 meters landing distance.
Bank angle.
It's really fighting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bank angle.
But we're supposed to lower the nose gently onto the runway.
So less until passing Romeo.
Which is just going to eat up distance where we can't slow down.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Let's say you know,
160
we need like you know
Bank angle. Bank angle.
easily the 12, sorry, the 2,000 meters.
7 Papa Romeo, contact
Yeah.
tower 120 bye bye.
Yeah, I would say that's that. You know, everything that we are talking about puts us into a funnel with not many options at the end.
I agree. So let's cast that out option out then. Okay, so let's say that our options then are to divert.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
We had planned Munich. Stuttgart is also an option. We do know there's high traffic levels at Munich,
Bank angle.
which is going to complicate a diversion there. And it may be significantly easier to go to Stuttgart. So with quieter traffic levels, simpler coordination, and probably a shorter route, I would say that Stuttgart is probably our best option. So my decision would be to divert to Stuttgart.
Okay. I would.
Oh, sorry, not Stuttgart, Salzburg.
Salzburg. I was just going to say I would have disagreed with that.
Sorry, I knew what I meant. I meant
yeah.
Salzburg. I said Stuttgart.
No problem at all. Yeah. So, let me just give you a quick overview of the weather again. All right, before we do make a decision on that. So
Sure.
Munich
Yeah, okay.
currently is METAR actually report 240, 28 gusts 40. That is the actual wind at the moment.
Right.
So that's crosswind 30 degrees at least. So
Anyway, you cut it. Yeah. Okay.
and with that wind and that flap setting, that's already something I would definitely see as a risk, as a threat.
I agree. Yeah.
Otherwise, clouds is fine. There's no precipitation, so that will all be okay. It's just the wind that bugs me out there a bit. Salzburg has 140 at 3, which definitely would help for the approach 15. So straight in, few 5,000s get at 6,000, and I can give you a quick info on the landing distance available at Salzburg. So Salzburg has a landing runway distance of 2,700. Available would be 2,500.
Okay, so that gives us an extra 1,200 meters there or thereabouts on our actual landing distance.
The only thing.
Hello.
Bank angle. Bank
South
angle.
America.
Yeah.
Bank angle.
Shall I
bank
ask for
angle.
a higher?
Yeah, let's take it there because it's struggling with the.
Yeah, that's exaggerated turbulence from X-plane. Oscar Echo Golf request.
Okay, Golf Innsbruck, go ahead.
Yeah, we have severe turbulence here. Requesting immediate climb. Let's say flight level 170.
Okay, Golf, for the moment climb 160. I'll coordinate 170 is dabei.
Thank you much. Climbing 160. Oscar Echo Golf. I'll give you one. Okay, no, you've got it. Okay, cool. 160 initially. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's the thing. That's hopefully with the X-plane or the active sky X-plane. Hopefully that will improve. And also Oscar Echo Golf request.
Oscar Echo Golf, go ahead.
Yeah, we're unable to land with the failure in Innsbruck. We've decided to divert to Salzburg, so request either direct to somewhere or radar vectors for Salzburg, please.
Oscar Echo Golf, Roger, are you able to continue now, or would you like to hold even longer?
Can we go now? Yeah. We can go now, Oscar Echo Golf.
Echo Golf, Roger, turn left. I confirm left, heading 085, cleared to Salzburg via radar vectors, and for the moment climb 160, 170 is unfortunately not available.
Yeah, we're climbing 160, doing a left turn, heading 085 for Salzburg, Oscar Echo Golf, thank you. You are currently...
In
Innsbruck radar.
Hand flying. Shall I give you the heading?
Kilo information Romeo,
Quas?
basing flight level
Oh, sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
200,
So 085.
descending 130.
To my kilo,
So left hand set
identified, localizer
085.
DB East approach, Romeo correct.
And 160 climb.
Localizer DB
That's about
East
1,000 feet to go.
approach, to my kilo.
And good. Yeah, terminus seems to be getting better now.
Agreed. Yeah, that was dicey for a second there.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna try giving it,
Mm.
giving the aircraft Sorry, giving the aircraft control
park,
back and
yeah.
see what it is.
Yeah, seems to like it this time.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Beautiful. Right, where do we get to then?
So we're turning left, heading
To my
085.
kilo, descent
And he said,
9,500 feet,
we're going to get radar
QNH
vectors to Salzburg. I was telling you about the approach, so normal 3D profile. The only thing for Salzburg that could be a little bit issue is that in this approach we are allowed a maximum of 165 knots. I mean, which we would have. We would have 155, so we could do that disregard.
Okay,
So
yeah, right, fine. So that's fine.
yeah, and the climb
Okay.
gradient we can do as well. We have no issues with that.
Incredible. Okay, all right, wonderful then. So decision made then, we're going to Salzburg. Execution. We spoke to air traffic. They've got us on a 085 heading
To my
in.
kilo, cleared localizer
So
DB East approach,
let's...
report established.
I'm going to start working on the secondary flight plan, just to get us something in.
Just as a little tip or input from my side, you're flying. So normally, yes, you would be the one programming things into the FMS, but I already have the charts out for Salzburg.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So one thing I would do as a captain, I would hand over either the controls to the first officer, or I would say, could you do me a favor and program in, Salzburg as a new destination and this approach, etc., etc.
Okay, sure. Well, which would you rather do? Do you want to program the box, or do you want to get some hands on stick time?
Well, you're the captain. Let me know what you want to do.
I don't know. You haven't touched. Do you know what? I'll keep the aircraft if you want to program in.
Yeah, sure.
The arrival into Salzburg. That'll be very helpful.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. So, flight plan. Enter that. Alternate to Salzburg. Is there a way to activate alternate?
Activate the alternate.
Contact tower 1201. Bye bye.
I don't believe so. I think if you go to the departure and arrival page, maybe you can load an arrival into the alternate. If you go back to the index.
Yeah, I'll do
Or maybe
that.
not.
Yeah. So in this case, let me just go to departure arrival, and then I will do
Radar servos, Lufthansa,
some flight plan.
climbing flight level 120, passing 100.
The Fox servos identified, climb level
Yeah.
150.
So that's the easy thing, really. Just put destination Salzburg in there. Okay, that's cool. We're on heading anyway, so that's fine.
The Fox, please reduce your rate of climb due to traffic at flight level 160.
Anything weight of climb Lufthansa, Fox.
It won't execute for me.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh no.
Explain appears to have terminated unexpectedly.
Oh no. Okay, well it's on your side, I guess.
Yeah, whatever we did to the route there presumably just killed the Challenger.
Okay, so no worries. You can try log on again, and then I'll tell the ATC. And radar from Oscar Echo Golf.
Are you still flying?
Yeah, we have paused the sim because we have a connection lost in shared flight. I'll let you know when we're back up again.
Copy.
Yeah,
Fox,
so ATC
climb level
knows
160.
that we've paused.
Flight level
Okay.
160, Lufthansa, Fox.
To be honest, the amount we've put that aircraft through just then, I'm not exactly surprised.
When established, reduce final approach speed of the direction.
I'm not 100% sure why it crashed, but
Fox München 13415, servus.
München
Looking on 13415, left for Foxtrot.
Yeah, it's probably me just changing the destination there.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
But no worries. We'll just fire it up again and then we'll see.
Uh-huh.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
So Toto, regarding reconnection, what's the safest way to do this? Mark, thank you so much for gifting us up to Toto. Thank you, thank you. Just wait until Quaz is back. It'll auto reconnect. Oh, that's so cool. That is very cool.
That's very helpful.
Austin to make kilo, establish, localize the DME east approach.
Right. Just bear with me 2 seconds.
Okay, Tower 1201, viel Glück.
Tower 121, decimal 120, decimal 1, Austin to make kilo.
Ah, there's your pause back. Now I've got the sound issues worked out. Fantastic. Save log if possible. Well, I mean, I think we know. Maybe you can reproduce that even by simply changing the destination. So departure, sorry, flight plan, and then press on new destination.
Action 7 Romeo Innsbruck radar servers identified info Romeo, localize the DME east approach, descend via star 14,000 feet, QNH 1000, correction. So we cliff relocalize.
Just waiting on the channel while it initializes.
Delocalize DME east from 826 and descending to flight.
How often do you get a failure in real life? Well, there's pilots.
Confirms 14,000 feet and the QNH 1000, not the squawk.
That are fairly unlucky, and they will have, you know, regular failures of things. For me personally, I've been fairly lucky in my career. So I've had flap asymmetry. I've had engine start issues, but never had an engine failure. Knock on wood. Hope that remains the way until I retire. I've had bird strikes. Yeah, I mean, if I you know start talking with a couple of beers, and you know I'll go through some interesting stuff in life. But okay, so you should be connecting shortly. So
yeah,
it's paused.
Okay, so yeah, so you're back in. Just looking at where the aircraft is. Okay, so the pro lines are initializing. I imagine that's only going to happen once we unpause here. But are you good to unpause?
I am good, yeah.
Okay, let's go for it.
Okay, so autopilot's off.
That's fine. Should just re-engage. And ATS should engage.
Yeah, thrust levers need to be moved, yeah. Perfect.
There we go.
Speed, fantastic.
Okay, so we've got those back. Wonderful. Alright, I'll reconnect us to VATSIM.
Yeah. And then Toto says we should try to do that on the secondary flight plan.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best option.
Okay, so activate, execute, departure, arrival. Yeah, Toto, that worked.
Oh, the radius got switched. Hold on.
Yeah. That was approach 28975. I can enter that.
4 with you, maintaining flight level 130, information Romeo.
Swift flight 19.
Okay, I'll let him know that we're back and way before further vectors.
For Romeo, localize the east approach.
Log DME east approach 1914, we're ready for descent.
Descend 10,000 feet, QNH 1000.
10,000 QNH 1000, Swift 51914.
Innsbruck approach, Oscar Echo Golf. Yeah, so we're back online, flight level 160, heading 085.
Perfect, welcome back, turn left, heading 075 now.
Heading 075, Oscar Echo Golf.
That was a really smooth reconnect, actually.
Yeah.
We were just saying in stream.
Yeah. So secondary flight plan works.
7 Romeo, turn left heading 030.
So what it has now is Salzburg VOR, and then from there find fix and runway. So
Okay.
5 November Romeo, Tabels identified, climb level 150.
So performance in it. I'll put back 5 passengers. Cruise out was 160 here.
Innsbruck approach, good night, Iberia 9120, descending flight level 328 to flight level 130 with you. Inside my sector, bye-bye.
Okay, so that's done.
Later, bye, Iberia 9120.
And for the approach,
Flight 1914, cleared localizer.
Said runway 15 we wanted, yeah.
and the
Clear
temperature
localizer
was
DME
8
east approach,
degrees.
flight
so
1914. Action 7 Romeo, speed 220 knots. 220 knots, really
That's
Accumulation
set.
998 there.
Yeah, okay.
Innsbruck hello, to Xavier 4 kilo, descending flight level 130. Xavier 4 kilo, Innsbruck radar, Sabos identified, info Romeo, localizer DME east approach. Information Romeo,
So the landing
localizer
factor is
DME
still in.
east approach, moment 26, Xavier 4 kilo.
Speeds are sent.
Hello, good.
So 121, 121, 145 is that?
287 Innsbruck radar, hello,
okay.
identified,
So
expect
actual
localizer
ref then is
east approach.
151.
Expect localizer DME east approach, United 7.
I am just going to get myself a
Flight
fix
1914, maintain speed 200
here.
knots or greater.
so that we have
4 kilo, descent 10,000 feet, QNH 1000.
so currently we're 70 miles away.
Descending 1000, Transavia 4
We're
kilo.
doing about ground speed 300
10,
knots.
10,000 and the QNH 1000.
So 4 to 4.5 miles per minute.
1000 QNH 100, Transavia 4 kilo, take care.
So
Okay,
that'll
so
be
if
like
we
20 minutes
do-
maximum.
Thanks 5 November Romeo, direct Kugol.
So that reckons, 180 kilograms of fuel to get there, and we'll be there in 13 minutes, it reckons.
Yeah, so at the moment I would say 1,000 kilograms is what we have arrival fuel, so we're still good on fuel.
9,500 feet, mid approach.
Okay.
22 Kilo, willkommen zurück.
Do you want to go and
Climb
explain
flight
it to the
level
people in the back?
10 visually, when passing 120, proceed
Hello,
direct
sorry,
Salzburg.
your ski party in Innsbruck's had to be postponed.
Yeah. Well, we organize a bus for them.
Please say again.
Oh, that's nice of us.
Climb visually, flight level 120.
So,
and
Total
Welcome
says,
aboard the Captain
manually set your
Blackbox
own
Duo
V
Channel
speeds
experience.
using
Could
oh,
new
yes,
subscribers
using the
please
private
make their
flight
way to the
simulator
first class cabin,
course, yeah.
where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight
a good idea, actually.
infotainment will be served.
5
Thank
November
you.
Romeo, München, 13415.
Hello, Black Box. I have a question for you. By any chance, have you flown to Madeira in the A320 Neo?
No, I have not, Diego. I'm not instructor, so for us, you can only fly there if you are an instructor captain, so unfortunately not. Why? Did someone sound like me? And Diego, thanks for the 3 months. That's really kind. Thank you so much.
7 Romeo, turn left, heading 005.
So there's Salzburg, and so we go refs,
Fraction 7 Romeo, descent 10,000 feet, QNH 1000.
and so V1, oh no, so sorry, VR. Let's see, performance approach.
287, descent flight level 150.
So
Flight level 150, Airline 287.
So V ref is 121, and we have to add 30 knots. So 151 would be the ref then.
Action 7 Romeo, turn left heading 345.
Yeah. So do you inserted that already?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. There we go. Minimums, I would agree 1680. That's checked from my side as well.
Yep.
And pre-select 998 on the QH.
Well, wonderful. Well, that was sporty.
Yeah, but interesting, isn't it? How much work, you know, you're in the approach, and then suddenly something happens. And what I always find from my own experience, if something happens out of the ordinary, you have to stop your mind from racing ahead.
160
Yes.
So for me as a captain, for example, I fall very easily into that trap and thinking, oh my god, now we have to issue that issue, we're going to have to divert possibly what we do with passengers, blah blah blah. So you have to kind of really put your own brakes on and say, hey, let's get to that later, let's now handle the problem and just go step by step. But typically a human nature thing, you try to plan as much as possible straight away, but in these cases it's just not helpful.
Yeah, it's a case of like giving yourself time to take in all of the information and come to come to a proper decision. Because it isn't, the flaps are filled, but you're still flying, you've still got tons of fuel. Like it's not urgent, particularly.
Exactly. You've got more urgent things like aviate, navigate, communicate right now. It doesn't help the passengers if you hit a mountain. Right, then you don't have to worry about bus transfer anyways. AJ says flap failures in the Challenger series are actually fairly common. That's
There was a really interesting story of a Challenger departing Farnborough fairly recently. I think it was last year, that had an uncommanded flap extension in the climb.
Oh wow, okay.
That ended up writing off the aircraft, I think.
Wow, okay.
216 X-ray Innsbruck identified.
So more mechanical issue, he says, one thing, maybe for next time, or when you do shared flight in the future, and you're the captain.
Kicker Golf, on navigation direct Salzburg, VOR, Sierra Bravo Golf.
On navigation to Salzburg, VOR, Oscar Echo Golf, thank you.
Flight 1914, maintain 160 until refuel from Mike. 160
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Descent 9,500 feet.
Good evening, dear Captain and chat. I came just in time for a wonderful arrival. I hope you're doing amazing.
Alex, thank you so much for that 16 months. Yeah, we're doing well. How are you? Thank you, Alex.
So what's going on here? Why are you not letting me go? Because it's trying to cut out the whole of the approach.
Scandinavian 783, descent 10,000 feet, QNH 1000.
Okay, I'm just going to put us direct and we'll reprogram the approach when we get there.
Yeah.
Well, not when we get there, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, although it has Salzburg now and then the hold, so it looks good to me.
Yeah, but that's the hold off the mist.
Oscar Echo Golf descent over 120.
Don't know what to say.
783, direct Advik.
Direct Advik, Scandinavian 783.
7 Romeo, cleared localizer DME east approach, speed 200 knots.
Localizer DME east approach, speed 200 knots, fraction 7.
So I think we'll probably need
approach
to reload the approach.
Heading 240 due to weather. 287, 240 is approved. 240,
so it says, landing, look at that, 970 kilograms. So our very crude kind of calculation initially
speed 200 knots.
Was actually fairly accurate.
Unable, Scandinavian 783.
Good for us.
You're looking at ground speed, looking at the fuel flow.
Showing minimum of
so that's always good. So it's always, one thing.
250 knots, confirm.
Is to look at your FMS is one thing, but don't always rely on the correct values, because the FMS doesn't know that we've got a flap failure and that we actually have a higher fuel flow. So
yeah.
So before we get into the
we'll have to find a solution for that, because the approach starts at 10,000 feet.
So when you're the captain
you'll be able to fly the approach
and
at
you're
250 knots.
trying to find a solution, a valid solution,
descent 9,500
go with risk benefits. What I always do, I always ask my first officer first, his view,
to make kilo turn left heading
before I say, this airport has this and this, and what I would say, I would do this and this as a captain, because that makes it very difficult for the first officer to maybe speak up and say, you know what, I actually thought, it would be better to do that and that.
Sure, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Contact tower 120, bye-bye.
Alrighty, so I'll get the charts out, and then
speed 160
if you want, then I would be happy with a quick briefing for the approach.
Have you for kilo, contact
Sure,
tower
yep,
1201, bye-bye.
11, when you're ready for it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, great. So we are shooting as a contingency then the ILS runway 15. It's unclear as yet whether we're going to fly the course reversal at Salzburg or whether we're going to get vectors for the final approach course. So I'll brief the full thing, and if we get vectors for a shortcut, then fine.
Yes, that's good, yeah.
So we have the propulsion hold at Salzburg, and we need it with a 175 inbound left turns and 1 minute legs. The approach takes us...
sorry, Oscar Golf, say again, please.
Oscar Golf, contact Wien radar 126275, just...
26275, Oscar Echo Golf. Thank you so much for the help, and have a great evening as well.
Turn the radio off, I couldn't hear him the first time.
Yeah, no worries.
927, go ahead. 927, go ahead. I request direct to Rosenberg. So for the moment, turn right heading 300. Right heading 300, Iran tickets 7. X216, go XA, speed 180 knots. Speed 180, turning 26, correct, right. 783, cleared localizer DME east approach, and are you now able to maintain 180 knots?
Hello to Srilock, how are you doing?
Berlin 19er Yankee, contact München 127.950, bye bye.
München on 127.950, Berlin 19er Yankee, Berlin.
Servus Wien, the Oscar Whiskey Echo Golf level 120 inbound Salzburg on a diversion.
Oscar Whiskey Echo Golf Wien radar servos identified. Wind 140 degrees in Salzburg, any preferred approach?
Yeah, I would like the localizer, the ILS 15 approach, and I'll give you a quick update on the technical if you're ready to copy Oscar Echo Golf.
Oscar Echo Golf, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have a flaps issue. They are extended partially, but we'll be a bit faster doing the approach than normal. However, we do not need any immersion services, and we will be able to leave the runway on our own once landed.
Oscar Echo Golf, roger, that is copied. Expect vectors for ILS 15.
Thank you much. Expecting vectors ILS 15, Oscar Echo Golf. Alright, so there you have your answer regarding the approach. Yeah, so Quas maybe talk to his own chat at the moment because he's streaming as well.
Oh,
1308 Wien radar servos identified.
Okay. Does that makes our lives easier then?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So so it'll be vectors then to join the Oscar Echo Sierra as 153
Oscar Echo Golf, descend 10,000 feet, QNH Salzburg 9998.
Descending 10,000, QNH 998, Oscar Echo Golf. So me as the pilot monitoring, I'm always checking the inputs from the pilot flying.
Ryanair forward Tango, contact to München 127950.
And now the 998 sets.
Yeah, so I'll wait until, I'll give you a couple of seconds, and then if I see that's still correctly set, I've got 10,200 set on my side.
Oh, seen, yeah.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, QNH 998 is set and cross-check.
Frequency for approach to Linz.
We'll call it
Passing.
11
now.
Good evening, Batman.
Yeah, checks, thanks.
Servus.
Right. Yeah, 1,000 feet to go, and
1308, when ready, descend flight level 140 to be leveled by Red Bull.
Right, okay, yeah. So vectors to join 153 and 109.9, which I saw the caption was tuned and is tuned. We will then, we'll be clear for the approach descend by the glide down to a minimum of, for Cat B, 1673, so we'll round that up to 1680.
Yep.
And we'll call that the minimums. In the event of a missed approach, then it's straight ahead to 2 DME, and then a left turn via the locator and the NDB to the VOR to 6 and to hold.
Yep.
And it had a maximum of, for us, 165 knots and 25 degrees angular bank. Oh, sorry, we are Cat C, aren't we? So it's 1682 was the minute, so 1680 was 2 feet between friends.
Yeah.
So maximum 165 knots in the tail, which we've said that we can maintain. So
yeah,
that's all happy days.
Yeah. All fine.
And then, yeah, so we said we're going to be there with about a ton of fuel, so if we do need to go missed off this, we've got enough fuel.
010, descent 8,000 feet.
Left 010, descent 8,000, Oscar Echo Golf.
Lufthansa 5 Lima X-ray, descent flight level 140.
Would your speed brakes be an advantage or disadvantage during the flight? At the moment, we have enough drag out, so you know it's 40-degree flap, which already have, you know, are producing some drag. So right now, it would just be additional drag. Aerodynamic-wise, yeah, you may have a bit more buffet than normal, but it didn't say in the checklist that we're not allowed to use it, so we could use it if we wanted.
Yeah, I believe we can still use it.
Yeah. Yeah, the checklist would say otherwise,
Yeah, I would have said so. Okay. We don't have a tower or anything that I can see, so we're going to be with Veeam the whole time, I think. Yeah. And then, yeah, MVA, we'll try and stay north of VOR if things get peaked on because of the rising terrain south of the field.
Okay, so Mach hold would now be below MSA, but according to contour layers, we are safe.
Yeah, I would agree. And visually out the window would look fine.
Yeah, cool.
Lufthansa 5 Lima X-ray, rate of descent 2,500 feet.
Okay,
speed 280.
May I give you a quick recap again of the procedure for landing?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so it's at maximum 400, well, it should have less than 400 feet per minute.
Vertical speed minus 2,500.
And then the landing technique to prevent structural damage of the nose gear. After main gets touched down, gently lower the nose gear. Apply brakes only after nose wheel has touched down.
Oscar Echo Golf,
okay,
descent 5,000.
Descent 5,000, Oscar Echo Golf. So the airport is somewhere behind us to the right, not seeing it.
Lufthansa 5 Lima X-ray, contact München, 127.950, bye-bye.
Lufthansa 5 Lima X-ray, 127.950, vielen Dank, schönen Abend. Lufthansa 3 Uniform, contact München, 127.
Okay, are you happy with everything, Captain?
I think so, if you are,
yeah. I'll go through the in-range checklist again.
Yeah, just make sure we haven't lost anything.
So, yeah, so APU is still available, ignition is there. We've got, do we need a wing anti-ice still?
It's been intermittent pre-sit, but I would say probably not.
I agree. We'll switch it off. I'll leave the engine anti-ice running. Still got SAT of -2 and a TAT of +5. Yeah, so we'll leave that running. Altimeters are sold. Cross check avionics are set. External lights are still as required. They are on. N1 target set again. So let's go TO again. Set.
Thank you.
APU packs transition is all available complete. Now the landing
Oscar
elevation.
Descent 4,000.
Descent 4,000, Oscar Echo Golf. Yeah, total, we'll do that in a minute. So 1,400 feet is set. Altimeter is pretty much set here as well to 29.5. So Toto says direct into Salzburg with intercept course to the course inbound. Maybe Quas can do that.
Direct into...
He says suggest direct into Salzburg with intersection course to the course inbound, just to clean up the box.
Okay, sure.
Oscar Echo Golf, turn right heading 140.
Right heading 140, Oscar Echo Golf.
I'm actually going to do it to, just because it's going to try and whack the approach out again if I do it to Salzburg, so I'm going to do it to the final fixes.
Oh, hey, it's actually, Toto says it's sequence already, so no worries.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I can see the localizer already appearing on the display there. Look too.
Yeah, start winding some speed off.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
There goes the glide. Oh, there goes the localizer. Due to the nature of this, so let's try and get configured relatively early.
Okay. I'll just ask.
Right heading 180, cleared LS15.
Right 180, cleared LS15. Thank you, Oscar. There we go. That answered the question.
180 heading And that's the wrong button.
1,000 feet to go.
Thank you. Approach arms.
Yeah, looks good. Beautiful. Our weather's clearing up, so happy with that. CAS is checked, so in-range checklist is finished and completed. Next will be before landing checklist.
Wonderful. I'll take gear down, please.
Yes, sir. Gear down. And be reminded the flaps will not move anymore.
Yes, noted. Thank you. Have you got an in-up sticker you can slap on it?
Right on display there. Yeah, and we agreed that
one.
Yeah, 151 will be the approach speed then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll go to 156.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then go from there.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Good.
Oh, this is going to be tricky.
We're all counting on you. No pressure.
I mean, you can't slam it when you're doing 151 knots, can you? It's still flying.
Well, it has a bit less flaps, so I don't know what it says to the the ground effect.
Well, we'll find out, I suppose. Runway's in sight in any case.
It's a bit hazy for me still. Oh yeah, I've got it inside as well. Cool. Excellent.
Okay, well, we may as well. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's bring it back to the rest of it.
Yeah, there's no other traffic as far as I can see. So ATC's informed about our problem, so we're fine.
Yeah.
For the non-normal part, in case of missed approach, for the wording, so you would press toggle buttons.
Yes.
But will not call out flaps, so flaps remain at 14.
Yeah.
And then I'll just say positive climb, and then gear goes up.
Yeah, essentially exactly what we did on the mist from Innsbruck.
And the missed approach altitude later.
Lufthansa 1308, contact München.
It's going to be 6,000 later on.
Yeah. Away for the glide instead of
2500.
I'm nervous.
That's good. Otherwise, I don't want you to be bored.
Yeah, no, I suppose not.
Oscar Echo Golf, wind 150 degrees, 5 knots, runway 15, cleared to land, free speed.
Okay, let's go with free speed, cleared land 15 for Oscar Echo Golf. Thank you.
Okay, I'll book 6,000 and I'll take the before landing checklist, please.
Before landing checklist, landing gear levels down, indicating down. Nose gear is armed. Anti-skid is on or armed. And the passage signs are on. Wing cal anti-ice. Well, cal anti-ice is still on. Still a bit rainy. 8 degrees. Yeah, we'll still leave it on. Continuous ignition is on.
Definitely picked the wrong day to quit smoking.
Oh, have I? Hang on.
No,
I'll get it. Yeah. All fine. Thrust reversers are armed. Spoilers stowed armed. Hang on. Ground spoiler are now armed. Flaps. Well, flaps at 14. Non-standard, and CAS is checked, and that's the before landing check is completed.
Cool. I'll take the aircraft there.
Yeah, clear to land. I'll give you runway heading, if that's okay with you.
Yep.
Main radar, Servus, Lufthansa 790, passing plan 130, climbing 190, heading 080.
Good night.
Stefke, good night. Once again, thanks so much.
Lufthansa 790,
See you Friday. Thanks so much for the support. Take care.
Climb cloud about 220, and do you want me to follow the set again, Lufthansa 790?
So as far as I can see, wind is pretty much calm.
Lufthansa 790,
yeah, it's a little bit buffety, but I think that's more off the.
Excellent,
it's more to do with the configuration than anything else.
Okay, otherwise you're doing good. Thrust.
Right.
Yeah, thrust is a bit lower than normal, obviously, because of the flap setting.
Yeah. If I'm going to take the aircraft there.
1,000.
Take the thrust there. I think.
Yeah, 1,000.
It's not doing.
So 1,000 checked, stable, good on speed, good on path.
Oh, there's the wind. Sorry.
Yeah,
the
6
rain
knots.
even.
Yeah, 6 knots from the left.
She feels very weird.
Golf 1, check, surface wind 148 degrees, 5 knots.
Yeah, I would have expected pitch to be a bit higher.
minimum.
But, oh, good. Careful with sink rate. Slightly faster than sink rate. Good.
Yeah.
Minimums.
So minimums, I would say continue.
Light slope.
Yeah, that's all fine. 1 white, 3 red.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
That's the float. Yeah, she's still flying is the problem.
Okay. That's alright. Let's settle down. Touchdown is there. I'll give you the spoilers. Reverse green. Nose gears down, full reverse, and you can apply brakes. Yep, I can see good decel.
Bit squirrely.
So, 60 knots. A bit low.
Can
Nice
we
side.
make-
Yeah, you can take this one if you like. Cool. GG. And that was definitely less than 400 feet per minute. So,
That's it.
some nose gear.
It was very flat as well, because I think we probably could have lost another 10 knots and still flown.
Oscar Echo Golf,
that-
do you require any assistance?
Oscar Echo Golf, negative. Good landing. So we can taxi to the apron on our own.
Oscar Echo Golf, roger. Taxi via Lima, exit to the GSE.
Lima, exit to the general aviation. Thank you so much for the help, Oscar Echo Golf.
Lufthansa 790, climb flight level 290.
So I'll give you
Lufthansa 790, climb flight level 290.
Oh, okay.
the ground shot in a minute.
Should it just be straight ahead?
Yeah, straight ahead initially, and then the entry 2 will be, yeah, further on. Yeah, so we're going to go past the main apron.
Yeah.
Okay. So flaps remain as they are. I'm going to go through the after landing checklist here. So
Yes, please.
landing. Oops, that's there. So nose light I'll leave you off, on. Taxi light on. Anti-collision light off. Continuous ignition off. Windshield heat off.
Lufthansa 790, contact Lean Radar 132.6, bye bye.
Lufthansa 790, 132.6.
Probes off. Go off as well. Probes off.
Lean Radar, schönen guten Abend. EasyJet 24, passing flight
Spoilers
140,
stowed.
climb flight level 190.
Easy 24, Lean Radar,
Flaps,
there was identified,
runway
climb flight level
14.
220.
Flight level 220, Easy 24.
And then ATC TCAS out on. Out on. Radar standby. Didn't turn that on. Is it? Hang on, what did I do? Oh, you're right. Right windshield. Yeah, it's 2 switches. Thank you, Toto. There we go.
Bing. Oh, let me get the.
So that's exit 3, not this one. I'm going to take the exit 2 to the left.
The next one, right?
It should say exit 2. Good, so that's the after landing checklist completed. APU is running already. And then we have the engine shutdown checklist next.
Wonderful.
Really? Ground spoiler should have been an auto. Okay. I thought arm. But for landing, okay.
It doesn't really matter. They did the job. That's all I really care about. So exit 2, yeah, this one.
Yeah, that's it. And then just find your own parking spot. That's fine. Maintenance is
Well, that was a lot of
informed. Yeah, I mean, it's informed they'll come out. And
Prod it with a
fix
stick. Go, yeah, it's broken.
Yeah,
Let's
after
see
landing,
what
it's someone else's problem there.
Let's just put it on one of these stands on the right.
Yeah, any way you like. What's the name of the LOWI script? I didn't quite follow that that discussion. Oh, okay, so Pilsner wrote there's a random failure LOWI script on Discord. Well, that's going to be on HotStart Discord, I presume.
Yes, I've got that script. It's very good.
Yeah, you can park just a bit further up and then... Perfect. Nice. Nicely done.
Okay, I'll set the engine shutdown checklist then.
So park brake is set. We'll go taxi lights all off, nose lights off, parking brake is set, reverse, thrust is stowed, Gen 1, Gen 2 off, engine 2 shut down.
Engine 2 shut down.
And then fuel boost pumps off. Fuel system check. Yep. Fuel up. Yep. Right, and then engine 1 shut down.
Engine 1 shut down.
And then check IVT below 350 degrees. Checked. Anti-ice off is off. 14th stage off. And isolation
EC24, climb flight
remains that way. Okay.
Yes.
Climb flight with 200, EC24.
Then beacon off. No steer off. No steer is off. ATC TCAS standby 0. And parking brake if chocked off. Not sure if chock's not yet in.
I haven't. I'll signal him now.
Okay. And passenger signs off. And cabin pressure differential checked. PSI 0. Yeah, 0 PSI checked. Engine shutdown checklist complete. Next will be the securing checklist. But
we do.
Yeah.
We do have the chock, so I'll get the parking brake off now.
All right. And I think I'll open the doors for the passengers so they can get off.
Then I've called the van for them.
EasyJet 24, cleared to Master 3 whiskey arrival.
Let's go plug in this camera.
Yes, Master 3 whiskey arrival, EC24.
So, taxi is organized. Nice little fancy bus will take them to Innsbruck.
Thank you for flying broken out. Thank you for flying broken out.
Exactly. Oops.
Oh,
getting back to my seat.
There you are. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the waiting on the van to show up?
Yeah. And Danny, next stream, yes. So after this stream, we'll have a 10-minute break, and then I'll go fly the Phoenix in Manchester.
EasyJet 24, contact wind radar.
The FSI panel has a new scenario.
The airport taxi's here. Thank you, Captain. Great flight as always. Well, I'll see you next time.
Yes, so Toto, Quast programmed the failure, and no, he programmed the failure. We talked about it beforehand, and then we decided on this failure because again, I think it nicely demonstrated, two key areas. One is you simply fly the aircraft, right? And aviate, navigate, communicate. I think we did that quite well. Without any big hurry, we had our kind of terrain awareness. We knew where we are, where to go. We climbed to safe altitude, coordinate that with ATC, and once we were happy, then we started the procedure. Went through the complete procedure, which flaps failure can be quite a long procedure sometimes, and you have to be careful not to miss important steps. Because literally you only get one chance to get through such a list in a good manner. And there are some important items in there, like switching off TORS warnings and adding 30 knots to the approach speed, or increasing the actual landing distance factor, and so on. So once we have finished the checklist, then comes the fact finding and options finding, etc., etc., and that's what we did as well. We talked about of course the airport that's closest, which was Innsbruck. So yes, of course, that's one we would consider first hand, because we just did approach there. We know how the weather is. We've got everything set up in the box, so that will be the easiest choice really. But quite rightly, Quas already put up some good points there regarding missed approach procedure, landing distance, etc. So I agreed on that, gave my views, and then we decided that we need to divert. And then it was a matter of finding the next, good option, so an airport without threats. And so we had Munich and Salzburg, 2 airports really that are the closest. So Munich was our standard alternate airport from the flight plan, and then Salzburg is a little bit closer by, not much though. But we looked at the weather. And of course, with 40 gusting winds in Munich, and that with a good crosswind component, that was definitely a risk or a threat that we decided was not worth taking. And with Salzburg being such a good second choice, look at the weather here, a little wind, so definitely a better choice to go through. So we went through our fact finding, options finding, etc., and then we did that. We decided. Made a decision, and then we did the execution. So we told ATC, we reprogrammed.
Welcome aboard the Captain
the
Black
FMS,
Box Twitch
we
channel
rebriefed,
subscriber experience.
and then we
Could
just
new
flew the approach,
subscribers please
landed,
make your way to the first class
and then
cabin,
here we are.
where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium
Quas, how do you
flight
feel?
entertainment will be served. Thank you.
I'm relatively happy. I think obviously something I don't think I've ever done failures to this extent in shared cockpit before. So that was, sort of taking that dynamic into account was a challenge and was good fun.
Yeah.
But I think all the decisions that we made were the right ones.
Yeah. I mean, success. We landed safely.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that.
Cool. Excellent. And the thing is, of course, that's a key thing really about getting into shared flight. And then, first you go through normal kind of flights, and then when you get to a stage with your buddies, that you fly your shared flight with, where you start getting a little bit bored, well, maybe then it's time to spice things up a bit. And then you can do a failure like today, a flat issue, but you could talk about it, ahead of time, decide on the failure, so it's not a big surprise. We've got the checklists out, but then actually flying it, and with ATC, brings in so many variables already with live weather, where it's fun. Even though we knew what was coming, it was still a lot of fun because all the different aspects regarding such a failure, and then you can try to improve your communication skills, your workload management skills, lots of these things, leadership skills. All these important good things that real world pilots go through training, lots of training. We're not perfect co-pilots or perfect captains right from the start. It's a nice building process, lots of training going into that. But yeah, it is a lot of fun. So hopefully, it was a nice demonstration for the viewers as well. Here in the beta version, anybody that owns a Challenger 650, you can get the beta version, so no extra charge, and you are then able to fly shared flight if you like.
It's in the stable now as well.
Yeah, and you saw, even if you have a problem, that's what I was talking about. If you're doing shared flight, so if you go into that, you want to have a system available that allows you to reconnect quickly and safely, because otherwise it's just a huge headache. Imagine if we had to set up again, go back to Nice. I don't know if we would have done so. We may have just rage quit at some point, but having just pause on automatically on my side, because I was still connected to the sim. I told ATC, hey, we've just been disconnected. I'll give you a shout back when we're back online. And he said, yeah, sure, don't worry about it. And so Quas started the sim again, and it automatically reconnected. It synchronized everything again. Completely hassle-free, really. So that's what you want. And then literally, I forgot that we actually had a problem with the crashed desktop. A couple of minutes after we reconnected. So that shows.
I think the only thing we had to reset was the frequencies.
Yeah.
Which is just outstanding.
Exactly. So we kind of our immersion was stopped abruptly, but it was reconnected so quickly again. And that's what we want to have. Right. Yeah, Kwas, again, so I can only say thank you so much for actually taking the time to do this shared flight. And I hope people appreciate on your side as well, your viewers, my viewers, some insights on these flights.
Everybody here is very, very appreciative for your time. Thank you again for having me.
Yeah, as always, I'm sure it's not going to be our last shared flight. So I tremendously enjoy it because it just adds so much value to my flying because it's what I do in real life. That's really what's all about, right? If you fly on your own, yeah, okay, if you do VFR flying, you mostly do that on your own as well, maybe. But these complex machines, you start to appreciate how important two-man environment is in these machines, and then it's a little bit of an art learning how to orchestrate everything, right? So you get the maximum amount of performance out of such a crew, and then when you have a failure, even more so. Just go through. So Wissa, thank you so much for the 45 months. Sir Wissa, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your support. Thank you much, Toto. Yeah, thanks, Toto, for being here. Again, big shout out, big hats off to what you've achieved here with the Challenger 650 and the TBM, of course, as well. Thank you so much. Victory J, AJ. Okay, AJ, sorry. The other thing you'll consider in BizJet is share your AOG supporters. There is a BA service center in Linz. If weather is good and it's not much further, getting the plane fixed could be much more pleasant experience at a Bombardier facility. Yeah, that's true. So, contrary to flight simming, in real world, you have another aspect, and that is exactly that: trying to fix the aircraft. And if you have a Bombardier maintenance facility at an airport that's also reachable with also good weather, you may take that into account as well in your fact and options finding. Martin, thank you much for watching. Thanks for the kind words. All right. Thank you so much, Quas, once again. Looking forward to another flight with you in the future. I've been moaning about some things, I guess, but it's more a little feedback, and also I think you're doing extremely well. But I think
I appreciate the feedback. I really do.
Yeah, so I think you, as an air traffic controller, I think you're going through some training as well regarding human factors and communication and that sort of thing. I would assume so, correct?
Yeah, 100%. And it's sort of similar and sort of different. I think largely the thing that's different is the sort of environment in which you're applying it, if that makes sense. Because it's less we have an aircraft to be dealing with, and more we have X number of aircraft to be dealing with sort of mindset that you take, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But also, I mean, you have human factors like. Everybody wants to do, max performance. But, I mean, let's say you've already been at the scope for 2.5 hours, and then suddenly you have a really, lots of traffic and then an abnormal in between. You have to have the kind of, training and the mindset that, hey, I don't have to be superhuman. It's fairly okay to voice, concern with, let's say, you're fatigued or something. And, you would not have an issue getting someone else on the scope to help you out, or take over or something. So there are some aspects in that regard as well. And also, I mean, you're all humans. We all deal with things, as we say. We all have a little rucksack, right? From life. And when we come to work, some of us have a fairly heavy rucksack because something is in there. Maybe your children are sick, or relative is sick, or you got financial issues or something. You can have so many different variables that will make that rucksack a lot heavier. And we're humans, so all these things have to be addressed, and you have to be trained for that. And everyone is in the same kind of mindset in these professions.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Lovely. Right, I've rambled on so much again.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah. So, quick question for Quas. What level of knowledge do ATC have about operating these aircraft from the pilot side? Great question.
It's a really good question. We try to, and on a semi-regular basis, you have like these little workshops that are organised, normally by the unions, and it'll be like a bunch of pilots and a bunch of air traffic controllers will get together. Back in the days of you really don't see them too often anymore, but we used to get like jump seat flights.
Oh yeah.
Just to get a bit of a taste of sort of how it is in a cockpit, and we'll get pilots come to the units quite regularly to sort of see what goes on. Certainly we understand sort of the broad strokes of what goes on, but it sort of, as we sort of alluded to earlier, when we were running through sort of quite a dense checklist and then air traffic calls. We've got our own sort of checklists and procedures to follow, and it can be hard for air traffic to sort of appreciate just how high the workload in the cockpit is at any given time. So there's definitely a challenge there. I think controllers in general are very understanding of that, and will sort of try to be. Typically, the more urgent the situation, the less pressing controllers are. And be like, when you've got a moment, could you pass us this, and this, and this, and this? Yeah. But ultimately, everyone's working to the same end. So I think we have enough information to get by without having to worry about without having to worry too much about what's going on in the cockpit, as well as doing our own jobs. Yeah.
Do you have a little booklet on your desk then? When you work, like let's say I'm calling with a hydraulic issue. Would you be able to flip a book and then go into like a broad kind of information leaflet?
Yeah, so there's right. So there's like there's a big or several big books of like checklists, and essentially one of those will have like sort of a broad description of the nature of the issue and sort of what the general ramifications might be. You're expected to know sort of, like I said, the very broad strokes. Everyone knows sort of the impacts of a pressurization issue. Everyone knows the impacts of losing an engine, right? But sort of the finer points, we'll sort of be familiar with the broad strokes. But it's not, obviously it's nowhere to the level of understanding of a pilot.
And it's not really that necessary, but I'm happy to hear that you have a kind of broad guideline. So you understand the difference between having a flap issue or a gear issue or hydraulic issue, electrical issue. And you don't need to have a perfect knowledge about it, but just a general knowledge that you can anticipate what kind of help the pilots would potentially need in that situation. For me, from a pilot side, I am always happy if I have a feeling that the controller is monitoring me or our flight really well, but he also understands that we're busy. And like I said, you'll be asking, like, when you have the time, pass us, fuel on board, souls on board, etc., etc. And one thing that gets me kind of a little bit worried if I get the feeling that the controller is lost, right? So, or just overpowered by what I'm trying to get, and that can then tilt the scale into the wrong direction really quickly, because it will add workload instead of taking some workload away from me. But I think in Europe at least, and I'm pretty sure in the US as well, you should not have any issues in that regard. I think they're all well trained, and but going into some countries in Africa maybe, and I don't want to be disrespectful or something, but it's just a matter of fact that just by simply the frequency quality, for example, there, and maybe the training quality there as well. You may have a very different outcome with certain failures in these countries. Also language barriers sometimes. These things will have a negative effect, you know, on the workload. But like I said, here in Europe and the US, I don't think there's any issues whatsoever. Good. Flap issues just needs priority handling. Gear issue, probably going to have to block a runway a few hours. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Toto. Yeah. The thing is this, though. So that's also an interesting case, right? So I'm aware as a pilot, let's say I'm going to Frankfurt or London Heathrow with a gear issue or some issue, a hydraulic issue, and I know that I can't leave the runway. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I could say, oh, you know what? You know, maybe London Heathrow is not the best place because, you know, a lot of airlines are going to have to divert maybe
Good
because
night,
only one runway. You know, they're going to have
Black
delays. Good night, Voyager. Take care. Mach's gut. Ja, bis Freitag. And then you have to put aside these thoughts. You know, that's someone else's problem. And as much as I like to be, you know, helpful in that regard, but hey, I've got my priorities and my, you know, the highest kind of safety level I want to reach. And if that means I'm going to go to Heathrow because that's the longest runway, is the best ATC, and then, you know, the best fire service, maybe, you know, whatever. Then it doesn't matter if it means, you know, a lot of headache for other airlines and so on. That's just the way it is at that day. That's the risk of flying, you know, and operating an airport. Oh yeah, Toto, and then it's obviously going to put workload on the controller. Absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes sometimes, you know, when they have that issue coming in. And of course they are then, you know, they want info is, hey, can you leave the runway? You know, are you going to remain on the runway? You know, so, but yeah, we'll communicate that, and then we'll find a solution to that. Nice, cool, excellent. So, of course, once again, thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you again very soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, no bother at all. My pleasure. All
right, guys. So we'll end the stream here, and yeah, give me about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll do another flight in the Phoenix 320. All right, good night, everyone. Take care. Thank you much, Toto.